The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning.
Standard Heating and Air is looking for an accounting administrator and customer service representatives to join their team. Learn more at standardheating.com/careers today.
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show. 93.
Uh-oh. Guess what day it is? Guess what day it is?
Today is Wednesday.
Woo-woo!
National
Cheeseburger Day.
What do you say we grab a couple of burgers and start paving?
Actually, I gave up burgers lately, Phil. Sorry, bud.
Gave up burgers? That's crazy talk, man.
You heard what the man said.
Welcome to Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. Can I take your order?
They're McDonald's. I'm McDowell's. They got the golden arches. Mine is the golden arcs. They got the Big Mac. I got the Big Mick. We both got 2 all-beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, and onions. But they use a sesame seed bun. My buns have no seed.
This is a tasty burger.
Leahy, what the you looking at?
Never mind, J-Rock. Keep her moving.
Randy, why don't you go on and eat a cheeseburger, you basketball-eating, walrus-ass mother...
Frig off, J-Rock. Actually, I'm off the cheeseburgers now.
Randy, don't play me like some kind of sucker dog. Motherfuckers with guts like that ain't off the cheeseburgers. Motherfuckers with guts like that definitely are on the cheeseburgers, dog.
Order up!
Showtime.
You know what I'm saying, right, Josh?
I'm aware. I think I get it. I pick up what you're throwing down.
You know what the hell I'm saying. Welcome to the 93X Half-Ass Morning Show. She's a Wednesday. National Cheeseburger Day. Take that in whatever direction you like. What is that I hear? Is that a, don't tell me again. What's that? What do you call that instrument I was just hearing? No, not bagpipes. What does Weird Al play?
He plays the accordion.
Accordion. Is that what I was hearing there?
It's either that or a fiddle.
Oh, Christ. Hard to decipher one from the other. Thank you so much for listening. And you're doing a great job, Wapple, with the terrible music to start the show. You don't hurt yourself now. You don't have to do it every morning.
Oh, I think I will.
Oh, okay.
I kind of like this bit.
I don't want to put too much pressure on you. I enjoy the bit. I just don't want you to be sitting around at, 11 o'clock midnight going, I haven't found it terrible. But
it's actually easier than you think.
It's a lot easier.
He looks at Dana's playlist on Dana's iPad. Yep. And he just picks some of those songs.
Business has picked up around here right from the get-go. Let me tell you what's going on around here. Off air, don't you know? Josh and I were prepping ourselves for today's program over here like we do air day. And everything was playing out as usual until some dildo suddenly showed up. Cubby, why don't you tell folks about that dildo?
You know what? I was warned, look out for the dildo. Mm-hmm. And I opened up a box today, unmarked. I mean, there's nothing on it. And I thought, well, what could this be?
You've been getting a lot of mail lately, and some of it's been very weird.
Yeah. Would you include this?
Yeah.
So we had a conversation about suction cup dildos. I didn't know it existed. I'd heard about the suction cup mount you could get for a fleshlight, and a gentleman could make love in the shower.
God help us all.
And then someone brought up a suction cup dildo, and I thought, what is this?
It's just a few days ago.
Yeah.
Just a few days ago. You weren't aware.
No, I hadn't seen one.
Of what ladies do in the shower and such with the suction. Go ahead. So what happened?
And so our buddy Jared, he sent me a suction cup dildo.
Brand new.
Look at that.
Ashley, look away. I want to show Dana and Wapple.
Yeah, I've seen one before.
Wait, do I have your consent to show you a suction cup dildo, Dana and Wapple? Ashley, look away.
Yes, of course.
Yes, please.
All right, so here it is. Thank you, Jared.
That thing.
That's beautiful. You know what you got to do right away.
What's that?
Going back to what we were talking about a few days ago when we were teaching you about suction cup dildos. Dude, plant that thing on your forehead.
Yeah.
Forehead.
Forehead. All right, here we go. It works.
It friggin' works.
I can't believe it works.
Oh, man.
I'm a dickhead.
Please go to Chipotle like that today.
I don't want to get arrested.
First time you've ever been a dickhead. Someone bring their cellular telephone with built-in camera over here. Take a picture.
Oh, I've got. Well, I can just do it on my own.
Oh, you do it at your selfie?
This will be my first ever selfie.
Do we have your consent to put that on 93x.com? Can we put that?
I don't think we can. We can't put this
straight-laced bastards that run our website.
We could probably put it on Twitter.
Yeah, anything goes on Twitter.
All right, well,
it's
you
like
guys,
the Wild West.
You guys know the rules. I don't understand the rules. We got to put a picture of you.
Because we're not going to be able to do that, unfortunately.
Not on Twitter?
No, company policy.
All right, fine. But that's a damn shame because that is a funny look that you've got right now. A few days ago when we were teaching him about what these things can do, I think I was the one who recommended you put it on your forehead and let the wife tear you to shreds.
I didn't think it was going to work.
It's still sticking perfect.
It's still perfect.
Okay, let's make a rule. You have to have that dildo suction cup to your bald forehead when Janel Klein walks in here.
I can't. As long as somebody asks her before she walks in here if it's okay.
Yeah, we don't want to bother anybody, I guess. I forget how straight-laced we have to be these days.
Oh, poops and boxes, Jesus said he could hear that. I'm going to try it again.
Could
you really?
The suction was great.
Hang on. Turn everything down for when he pulls it off of his head. Oh, you pulled it up.
Sorry. I jumped ahead.
Let's slap it down again.
I
Total
finished
silence
early.
now. Yeah.
All right, here we go. And it's stuck again.
That was beautiful.
Very good suction.
I like how you pulled it off and you still had a red ring on your
Yeah, be careful.
Hey, Doc, it's going to be a little uncomfortable to explain how I got a concussion this morning.
If that leaves you with a bruise on the middle of your forehead.
Oh, I got to go to a wedding this weekend.
Hell yeah, you do. You don't
Josh,
have to go to a wedding on Saturday.
It's Friday. It's a whole family weekend.
You don't have to go.
Starting with the wedding on Friday.
My boyfriend put like this thing that you can like suction cup to the window. It's like for babies, like those cute little spinning toys. He put one of those on his forehead for maybe like 30 minutes, Josh, and he had that red mark for like 3 days.
Oh,
so I'd be careful.
You know what? You mentioned it was a listener, Jared, who sent this to you. Thanks for listening, Jared. We've seen
He's one of the greatest.
We've seen him around town on and off for years. Yesterday we credited you, Josh, for being the great gift giver that you are. For my birthday, you gave me that finger bang drum machine, which I played at the house for hours last night, and the wife was thinking about shooting me.
I did text and apologize to her yesterday. She had actually a very funny response. I'll have to say it when you're done.
So we got to give Jared credit for his gift-giving abilities and listening so thoroughly to the program. And I'm telling you, this Jared guy must pay very close attention because the suction cup dildo that you have right now protruding out of your forehead, it perfectly matches your skin tone.
It does, yeah.
You almost have to...
If ever we have a pee test here and somebody has to watch, I want this specimen. I'm just going to pretend this is it.
Oh, if someone has to watch you pull a penis out of your pants.
I'd be proud of this thing.
Well, what a great gift.
Did you pull that out of a package box too?
Oh yeah,
I'll
show you. It's just an unmarked black box.
Where are you going with this, Waffle?
Well, I was like, hopefully it's not used.
No, it's brand new.
No, it was all sealed up.
Okay.
Jared doesn't like me that much.
It's beautiful.
Okay.
Look, Waffle, it shines. Yep. Look at the tip. It's shining.
I would have felt bad if it was just like an Amazon bag and then just the dildo in there.
Give Jared a little bit of credit, for Christ's sake.
Oh, Jared said, "Did you see how I addressed the package?"
I might have. He wrote you a funny note and you didn't know. Oh, I didn't see that. Yeah, don't put that thing back on your forehead. You're already developing a ring.
It kind of hurts. Well, I think I can. Listeners, do I have your consent to give you a description of what this is? So I'm giving you a second. If I do not have your consent, turn down the radio for a second. All right? 3, 2, 1. All right. This is a 7.5-inch realistic thick dildo, 1.8 centimeter, or excuse me, that'd be small, inch diameter. Soft dildos with curved shaft for vaginal, G-spot stimulation, and anal play. So, how did he address that?
He wrote that to you?
No, that's what the...
So that's a very vivid description of a dildo
Hang on
by
a
Jared.
second.
Oh, God, I can't read that.
Before I send this gift to Josh, I'd like to handwrite him a note as to what it does. What are you looking at now?
How he addressed it.
Oh.
It says... It says radio sensation Josh Bitney, and then it has our address on there. Stop that.
All right, so...
Now I'm a dildo.
Just like we were talking a few days ago when you first discovered suction cup dildos, you gotta get this sumbitch into the mix back at the house now.
She won't.
I recommended Don't be such a defeatist.
I know for a fact if you're listening, babe, if you're listening, text me. She's not going to go for it.
Oh, I forget that she listens to this show because I was going to recommend that you go home from work today with that sumbitch and you blast it into the shower wall and just leave it there and see how she reacts.
Well, your godson uses that shower, our shower. So
well, put it wherever the godson doesn't go, you know. You're already saying no chance?
Well, we'll see what she says. So I
Jesus, live a little, will you, Mrs. Bitney?
Going back to, that's my mom's name. Don't do that. Going back to what you said about the drum machine, right?
Yes.
The little finger pad drum machine. So I said to your wife yesterday, I texted her and said, I'm not sure if you've been listening, but I was told I may owe you an apology. I'm sorry. And so she wrote back, better for him to tap that than all the whores.
She's wildly concerned about whores.
See, she still doesn't trust me. She thinks all I want to do is chase whores. Well, that's cute.
Have you proved her wrong yet?
I'm in the process.
It's a process. Is it a journey?
Intense work.
Do you mind if I handle your
I'd be
suction?
happy to share the dildo with you.
Oh, yeah, this is a keeper.
Yeah, it's really nice. Thank you, Jared. That's probably the nicest thing I've ever received.
Can I see if it sticks to my skull?
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
All right. I gotta take my lid off. I love that noise you were able to make. I hope I can duplicate that. All right. Let's see if my noggin... Oh, I'll try again.
Oh, it did stick. Oh, you
failed.
No, it's stuck.
It's on there.
That definitely stuck.
That's on there.
All right, hang on. Let me see if I can. If when I pull it loose, it can make a funny sound. Hell yeah! Did you break something?
We're having way too much fun.
There's something about Josh's noggin where it didn't really make a sound on release, but with mine, here, check this out again.
You know what? We really are the perfect couple.
We are.
We complement each other.
All right, we got to give it a name.
Oh, yeah. Text us an idea for a name for our new suction cup dildo mascot, which we can't display here in the studio after we leave. 651-989-9393.
What should we name our suction cup dildo mascot? Now, okay. Will you at least make an attempt this afternoon, evening, by bringing it home and seeing if it can work into the mix with the wife?
I'll definitely make an attempt.
Okay. You assume she's going to turn you down. If that happens, can we bring our new mascot, who by the end of the day will have a new name, can we bring him with us to the boat party on Friday night so people can meet him?
Good question. Yeah, we'll have to ask about that.
Okay.
Like you said, it's a different day and age. You know.
It is.
More anxiety than hair Jesus was the first one to text in an idea for our new dildo mascot. He said, how about Dana?
Aw.
Is that what you want to call it? You want to call our dildo Dana?
That's not bad. We could have, Dana over there. Say hello, Dana.
Hi.
Otherwise known as Danel.
Yes.
The suction cup dildo mascot could be other Dana. I don't know. That's not a bad idea.
Someone says here we can use these suction cup dildos to pull dents right out of your car. Anybody have a dent?
I bet. Yeah.
Anybody have a dent on their car?
I got a scratch. I've got a scratch. What can it do for scratches? Anything?
I'd probably nothing.
Okay. Well, that's a hell of a lot of fun.
What a nice way to start the day. Again, thank you, Jared.
Yeah, what's really interesting, beyond what's already happened, of course, is seconds before Josh opened up that package from a listener named Jared with the suction cup dildo inside, seconds before Josh unwrapped that package, I said to Josh, well, what are we going to talk about first break? And he said, well, hang on a second. We'll get to that in a minute. I got to open up this package. And here we were given... this was a gift in many ways. In many ways. It gifted us a brand new conversation. Yeah, we got to give it a name before the end of the day. Thank you I see the text machine is rolling.
Gosh,
like,
yes.
What do you
Movie
call
credits.
those things at the casino? What do you...
Slot machine.
Slot machine. It's rolling with
Beef Cannon Jesus pointed out, the twins have the rally sausage. We could have the rally dildo.
Sure.
We could still call it the rally sausage if we wanted to.
Could.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. I'm excited for what kind of action this thing might see back at the house. I know you don't have high hopes, but I'm excited.
Would anybody, Ashley, I don't want your answer, but would anybody have a use for this? Anybody know?
Well, yeah.
Would your beautiful wife be interested?
Have you met her?
Oh, yeah. I've known her for 2 decades.
She...
Every time.
It doesn't hurt to ask.
Well, you ask her. It
if
probably would be better coming from you than me.
If you... I think it'd be fine either way. If you somehow strike out with... And I wish we already had a name for him so I could just up and use it, but we don't have a name yet. If you somehow strike out, I'd bring it home, see what happens.
Yeah, she must not be listening.
Who's that?
My
your,
wife.
Your friggin' wife?
Yeah.
I'd be happy to run it by the old lady and see what she thinks.
Well, I'd like, I'd like to think I've known your wife for 2 decades. I'd like to think we have a relationship where I could ask her.
My friggin' wife.
Yeah,
you've known
the
her.
The woman you've married.
Yes.
I've known many, many, many years.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah. We have like a friendship that we've developed over 2 decades. I was so happy when you guys got married.
All right. Where were you going with that?
2 out of 3 of us were so excited when you got married.
Without a doubt.
I wonder if we're there. Are we there at the point where I'd say, hey, a wonderful guy sent me a brand new suction cup dildo. Would you like it? Like, do you think we're at that point?
I think so. I certainly think so.
Because my judgment lately has been poor.
Maybe you're the one. Maybe you're better than I am at suggesting such a thing. Because you know what? What my friggin' wife and what a lot of wives might say when you try to gift them a secondhand dildo. Like a lot of wives would say when you try to gift them secondhand anything, they're going to say, well, it's a nice gift, but, it wasn't really meant for me. That's probably what I would hear. But if you wanted to try to give it to her as a gift, Josh, as a friend, it might be. You see what I'm saying?
She might be okay with that?
Yeah. It's worth bringing up anyway. All right, our boat party Friday night. Our possible boat party mascot. We're taking suggestions for the name. Now, if in fact the brand new suction cup dildo there, if in fact it can't find any work over at your house, Josh, and if in fact it can't find any work at mine, what will you do with it? Will you just dispose of it?
Probably, yeah. I mean, I've got a buddy that I'm fairly certain his wife would really enjoy this, so I could give it to him.
Then that would be great. Maybe, I don't know, could you just put it up in the garage for laughs,
Maybe.
On the garage fridge or something like that?
Yeah.
I do have an extra fridge.
Although, be careful. My pals once, what's the word I should use here? Created, I guess, a massive dildo out of a tree stump. A big oak dildo is what they made with chainsaws. This was many years ago in Hayward, Wisconsin. Some of the boys I was hanging out with were cutting down some trees, and so we had stumps laying around, and a lot of beers were being consumed, and one dude just really went to work on this stump or log or whatever you want to call it, right? What the hell's he doing over there? He's spending 20 minutes, a half hour, 40 minutes over there working on this. And we all gathered around, and what he was doing was making a massive oak dildo with testicles. It was beautiful. Beautiful. We ended up nicknaming it, well, C&B. You know where I'm going with that?
Yeah.
Right. And it was our mascot for that weekend. And you know the story, Ashley. I think maybe was the one who was most in awe of this story because she plays pocket billiards like I do. We took it to the bar, and I made a 2-rail cue shot, not using without using a pool cue. I used C&B.
That's insane.
To make a 2-rail cue shot, 8-ball, in a game of pocket billiards, and then I brought it home. I brought it home. Put it in my garage. And, 9 nights out of 10, there's nobody that's walking into my garage that would be shocked by the sight of such a thing, right? My group of friends and family, they're not going to be shocked to see a massive oak dildo with testicles on display in my garage. But then, Josh, I had a party, and the girl I was seeing at the time invited a bunch of her friends that I did not know. And the party was in my garage. And there it was for all to see.
Uh-oh.
Not all of them were crazy about it. What I ended up doing was putting it in the fire. I had a barrel stove. You know what I'm talking about? How does a grown person say that? I had a wood-burning barrel stove, in the garage. And after some of these people were offended by the sight of C&B when no one's looking, I just threw them in the fire. So he met a terrible end.
A couple of names, some suggestions here. What do you think about Girth Brooks?
Girth Brooks,
a suggestion from a member of the Brother and Sisterhood.
I don't hate it,
okay,
but I hate the real guy.
There's a play on our other mascot, David Lee Rock.
Yes,
you can probably guess.
Which, you know what, is perfect.
It is.
That would be so good if we could do that. We can't do that one.
Kind of keeps it in the family, so to speak.
Yeah, that really is a great suggestion. Widespread panic Jesus recommends for revenge. I told you about Bitch Nips, a buddy of mine, who he rang my door with a childo or chindo. I screw it up every time.
Chindo.
A chindo, where it's a dildo that goes on your chin.
Or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it is called a childo.
It was always the opposite of what I thought it should be.
Whatever. Yeah, dude rang your doorbell with one of those?
Yeah, he rang it. He put it on, and so he's suggesting I get revenge. Now, he does have a video doorbell, so I could probably just put this on my forehead. What if it would stick to my chin? It's kind of whiskery.
The forehead's a way better look anyway.
Okay, by the way, I took a selfie. This is recommended by a member of the Brotherhood. I sent it to my wife just to say, huh?
Yeah.
Hey, what
Good
do you
morning.
think? Should I bring it home? Okay, so I'll try it on my chin. No, nothing.
Your chin's too small.
Yeah, doesn't work.
Where were you going with this? You sent the selfie to your wife?
I sent it to my wife just to see what she thinks.
And?
Let's see if she could. She hasn't got back to me.
Okay.
You know what? So I'm looking at this selfie. First one I've ever taken, and it's perfect.
Yeah, you look great.
This really does match my skin tone perfect.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. You'd swear to God that was your own penis protruding from your forehead.
Like if there was a bizarre porno,
yeah,
Dick had, and here I am with this thing. It looks, you don't need any more anything. Like I don't need the makeup person. I don't need anything. It's perfect.
Nice work.
Girthquake.
Well, that's already been taken.
Yeah, that's my penis name.
Yeah.
That in private first class Terry Tickles.
Yeah.
Let's see. Well, a lot of dildo McDildo faces.
Oh, that's disappointing.
The Pale Impaler.
The Pale Impaler.
What about Yank Williams?
There's no real bounce to that one. Yank Williams. Not bad. We got to settle on something before the end of the program. We're going to have to sift through a lot of text messages.
The Ham's Bone?
Ham's Bone. Ham bone would be maybe a better flow.
Oh, yeah.
There.
Here's a ham bone. We got Ham's Bone and ham bone.
Where do we, can anyone think of a place where we would hide this so Janel Klein doesn't see it when she gets here at 7:30? Where could we hide a suction cup dildo?
You can just put it somewhere over here, since she won't be.
Any suggestions?
It was just a joke, actually.
Yeah. I knew where he was going.
I love your reasoning.
Sure, sorry.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Janelle's a mystery, right? We've known her for about a decade. And I could see her thinking this is hilarious, and I could see her not saying a word and us not knowing how she feels about it.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Or but one thing I couldn't see her is going, oh, I got one of those. Oh, I got the same one.
Is that mine?
Yeah, I couldn't imagine that.
Is that mine?
What about Dildo Lee Roth?
Dildo Lee Roth.
Yeah.
We're getting there.
Because we can't do David Lee.
Right. Right. We have to.
That would have been.
We have to be able to say it out loud in mixed company. You know what's going to happen? One is going to come along here, and it's going to knock our socks off. I know it. The Brother and Sisterhood have never let us down.
Willie Vanilli.
Willie Vanilli.
Okay, that's so stupid. I like
reference to early 90s pop Act Milli Vanilli.
Wang Hung.
C. Willie Dilly.
Yeah, they're struggling now. It's early.
David Lee Roth.
Oh, David Lee Roth is good. See that?
That north of 95, Jesus. There you go.
We're getting somewheres now.
Cubby's chubby.
Many people are suggesting the name of a former employee, and I'm not going to acknowledge it.
Thank you so much for everybody sending. They're coming in so fast. It's tough to keep up. These are great.
Appreciate it. All right. Maybe we had to dump a prize on somebody. What would you like to do, Josh?
Well, you got a lot of prizes. We got like a lot of stuff to talk about on the prize. Ronnie James Dildo. It almost sounds too insulting to Mr. Dio, and I know it's not meant to be.
Any acknowledgement to the immortal one is appreciated on this program, but yeah, I don't want to make it seem like we're kicking a guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. For whatever reason, the David Lee Roth references don't seem like we're honoring him, but that I don't want to.
Dave's still breathing.
But that's a great name, though.
Yeah, it is.
That is a good name.
All right. How about some damn buddy joins us on the boat? Why not? We'll go boat. Unless you were planning on doing boat later, John.
No, we got a lot. We got so much stuff to give away.
Sunset is the word to text 651-989-9393. Sunset. You should know that what you're doing is you're using our Luther Bloomington Kia text line. And when you text Sunset to 651-989-9393, you get a chance to win tickets to our sold-out 93X Rock the River cruise coming up in 2 nights. You know what that sound was?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
That was his skull. What movie? Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Now I'm going to see if I can get this dildo off. Hey, I got a decent shot of it.
Good one.
It wasn't as good as when it came off your head.
The key is to grab it from the foreskin.
Yeah.
Grab it.
That was. I watched you do it to see what the strategy was.
Grab it from the tip.
What about your excitement when it came off and made that noise, Josh, was perfect.
Oh, I love getting this thing off.
It was like a little kid on Christmas.
Like you just sunk a shot on a Fisher-Price hoop or something.
Can I just say it was nothing like a little kid on Christmas? I don't want to put these two things together.
Thanks again to the folks from Lucky's 13. Thanks to Gel. They're going to put on a live show. And, of course, Paddleford Riverboats. Good luck. Again, we're looking for a name for our new suction cup dildo mascot. We'll get a keeper before she's all said and done. I think we mentioned 2 or 3 times. Janel Klein will be here at 7:30, and she's going to be disgusted. We'll be right back on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Did you know that Standard Heating opened its doors over 90 years ago? That's right. Tony Ferreira opened the doors in 1930, now ran by his granddaughter Claire Ferreira. Call Standard Heating and Air Conditioning today and experience the customer service and care that holds true today.
Are you looking to improve your work-life balance with excellent benefits like 401k match and even tuition reimbursement? Standard Heating and Air is looking for an accounting administrator and customer service representatives to join their team. Learn more at standardheating.com/careers today.
Welcome to Talkville, the ultimate Smallville rewatch podcast. Lois Lane's here. Erica Durant's. Hi, Erica. It had to be nerve-wracking. What was your first reaction?
When I first read it, of course, they included the part of the scene where Lois gets up there and she thinks she's doing really great, and then she bails on stage. It was supposed to be comedic, but then they just cut out the comedy, and then I just looked like a stripper, which isn't a bad thing, but it was what my aim was.
Binge seasons 1 through 4 of Talkville before season 5 begins, wherever you listen.
Stupid news on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
All right, here we are. Trying to come up with a name for our new in-studio mascot. The brother and sisterhood are helping us out, and we need it. 651-989-9393. That's how you text us. We're trying to come up with a new name for our in-studio mascot, which is a large suction cup dildo. Josh just learned about suction cup dildos a few days ago. A listener gifted him one. What a surprise this morning.
It was a wonderful way to walk into work.
So that's our task before the end of the day. We got to name this damn thing. Josh is going to see if maybe his wife wants to party with it. She says no. I'll bring it home. Maybe we'll get to bring it on the boat. Maybe we get to bring it to Wisconsin to that what are we doing there? That casino party?
Yeah, the broadcast.
We got to name this pig. Here are my favorite entries so far. Again, 651-989-9393. Black Stabbeth. Donnie. The Godfather. Rod. Angus Hung. Stanley. You know, like the power drill. What movie, The Adventures of Ford Fairlane, what year, 1990? REO D-Wagon.
That's good.
Randy. Or we just keep it simple and call him Suction Cup Dildo Jesus.
Oh, you know what? That's so simple. It's great.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. There's some really good ones that have come in. Thanks again for everyone who's done that. There's one off there that I couldn't stop laughing at. It's so silly. I don't even know if I can get through it right now. Vane the Rock Johnson. It's so dumb. But I love it.
Yes.
Robin Wood.
Robin Wood. Like
Yeah.
Robin. I got it. All right, we'll figure it out.
And it sticks to your forehead. I mean, if we're allowed to bring this, you guys will be on the boat, but I'll be obviously at the Wisconsin broadcast. For fellow bald guys, maybe this is something fun we could bond over. Aside from genetics, we could bond over the two.
Yeah. You stick it to your forehead and brace yourself. All right.
And whoever looks the best can be awarded biggest dickhead, and we can maybe come up with a prize. Or
Sure. There's all kinds of routes we could take here, Josh. All right, starting off the stupid news. This is fun. I guess because it goes against the entire vibe of what was happening at the time. And here's what I mean by all that. A British soldier ended up in court for knocking somebody smooth out at an event called the Bonds of Friendship Golf Tournament. He knocked somebody out at the Bonds. That's hilarious. This silly golf tournament was held in a place called Kilkenny, Ireland.
Did you visit there when you went on your Ireland trip?
No.
You didn't go there?
I don't think so. Why? Where is Kilkenny?
I'm not sure. I had to name a few places in Ireland. That'd be one of the only ones I could name with maybe two others.
Oh, yeah. Oh, really? You guys have heard of Kilkenny, Ireland?
I believe they've been in the stupid news before.
Yeah, you're right. But I've definitely heard of is it Kilkenny or Carney? I can't remember. Oh, no, there's Kilkenny and Kilcarney.
All I remember about my trip to Ireland, other than just the straight-up boredom and misery, the town that I was in was called Listowel. Listowel. It was in the southwestern part of the country. And we did travel around a little bit, but I was so miserable that I just...
Because I know Cork, right?
Yep.
And Dublin, obviously.
Oh, God, it was boring, and the weather was miserable, and the food was miserable, and the people were very friendly. I will give them that. The people that I went there with were miserable. The people I met, the real Irish folks, very, very friendly. Can't say a bad word about them. I did want to grab them at times and say, why do you live here? This place is so... my only complaint about the real Irish folks, they spoke so quickly, I couldn't make out a single word anyone said in the 4 or 5 days I was there. Could not make out a word. So this golf tournament was held in a place called Kilkenny, Ireland. It seems to me that the event was just a big old party held for all different kinds of law enforcement and military from Ireland and stupid England. The British soldier with the knockout punch power, he was arrested and charged with assault. The victim did later come to after he had a little nappy nap. And now it's tough to tell because the story was written by an Irishman. But again, they have a whole different way of delivering things. I believe the dude who threw the punch was actually supposed to be a guest speaker at the event. But after he knocked some poor bastard out, he decided maybe he shouldn't get up in front of the crowd and say jack squat. This is what happens, I think, Cubby, when you pile a bunch of tough guys in a hotel bar for a few days and fill them full of O'Brien Weisers.
Yeah, I think you're onto something.
They should have known something was going to cut loose. You got a bunch of military guys filling them full of beer for 3-4 days. All they got to do during the day is go pretend like they enjoy golf. There's going to be a scrap or two. Bonds of friendship, my ass, the guy said. Somebody's going to get choke slammed straight to hell.
They're probably even annoyed by the title. Like, come on, that's what we got? Bonds of friendship?
Yeah, it might set somebody off.
And you went with a bunch of radio guys, so did they, somebody had to have used the famous Dublin joke?
I don't recall.
Oh, because I could, on one of the trips we went on, I could picture like 2-3 guys specifically that were the guys to make that joke.
I tuned most of them out. There were 2 guys from San Diego that I really, really liked, and those were the guys that I spent the most time with. The other radio people I avoided like the effing plague because of how radio people are. They're insufferable people. They cannot stop trying to one-up each other. They cannot stop with the self-serving comments. I almost cracked. Came very close to cracking while I was there.
I don't blame you.
Well, we've been together for events like that. We can't even believe these are real people. If you know this here radio show, you know we do everything in our power to avoid political conversations. I wish we didn't have to, because some of it could be fun. We have tried in the past, once or twice, but these days there are simply too many little children out there disguised as grown folks, and those people can't help but wet their little pants whenever politics come out. They quickly fall into little tantrums if you don't get in line with their exact political beliefs. So, we're not paid to be babysitters, so we just avoid politics as much as we can. We're happy to discuss Brazilian politics, if that makes you feel any better.
Yeah, I think that's safe, right?
Yeah, it has to be.
But not for very long, because around here, if you give it enough time, the little children I was referencing earlier, they'll start choosing sides and acting completely irrational. We will discuss Brazilian politics, but not for long. As ugly and embarrassing as American politics have become, it appears to be just as bad in Brazil. In Sao Paulo, they put on a television debate for the 2 pimps running for mayor. Oh, more than 2. There's like 5 people running for mayor in Sao Paulo. And so they put on a television debate. And it got so mental at one point that one candidate threw a damn chair at one of his opponents on live television.
ECW, ECW, ECW.
Awesome.
The candidate, a dude by the name of Jose Luis de Tena, he threw a damn chair at one of his opponents, a cat called Pablo Marcal. Incredible. A total mess.
This is up on 93x.com.
Thank you for that. Someone said something about sexual misconduct allegations. That lit the fuse right there, and a chair got tossed like an old episode of the damn Jerry Springer program. Like Ashley said, there is video of this madness, if you want to check it out. The chair did clip the dude. The intended target was clipped by the chair. And once the dude tossed the chair, the program cut to commercial. That's perfect.
The Hans Gruber looking guy that was the target, he kind of had, from Die Hard, he kind of had a look like, what the hell, man? Like he was totally confused by what was going on, as you might expect.
He didn't expect it.
No, but nowadays, it's kind of like anything can happen. Every day it's stranger than the next.
So I love that they cut smooth to commercial. And then the debate came back on the air a few minutes later without the Marcal character, the dude who got hit by the chair, because I guess he got hauled off to a hospital. Now, his supporters shared a video on that godless social media. They shared a video of Mr. Markall being rushed to a hospital in an ambulance while receiving respiratory support.
Oh, dude. He got whacked.
Very dramatic stuff. Wapple, there was some drama thrown in. You know what I'm saying? He got hit by a chair, for Christ's sake. He said he had trouble breathing. And I guess doctors did say he suffered a fracture at the bottom of his rib cage from that chair shot. But I just, I wouldn't doubt if all that respiratory care was part of the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, his political advisor's like, hey, we can milk this pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, Markall continued with the drama. Later on, he referred to the incident as a, quote, attempted homicide. Well, okay. You got hit by a chair.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
I don't know if we should call it attempted homicide. So anyways, we Americans aren't the only ones who can't help but feeling like we're constantly hovering on the brink of disaster.
That's kind of refreshing. I mean, it's sad in one way, but it's like, okay, it's not just us. It's happening everywhere.
Yeah. There's dildos everywhere.
And you know what? It's been worse there longer than it has here, in my opinion. I'm not saying just Brazil, but elsewhere. Sometimes you'd see some stuff going, well, we're never going to get there.
It's nice to laugh at other countries sometimes.
Sure. But then you read now and again about how they do it in Iceland, or I can't recall where this is, Josh. Maybe you remember
like
this.
Sweden, Norway.
I mean, the two candidates running for King of Norway, or whatever gimmick they go with over there, they get on television and they're doing funny like bits together, like dance routines. It's a comedy show. They like each other. They're having fun with each other.
Yeah, it would be kind of nice to, just like one guy's like, hey, you know what? This is the way we think it should be done. And they've got some valid points over there. But we just look at it a little bit differently. But we're trying to get to the same place.
Right.
That'd be nice other than the crazy stuff that happens.
Yeah. They're doing song and dance numbers together. The guys running for King of Sweden, they're having a blast. They're drinking. They're friends. Now, not around here. We all got to be pant wetters. All right.
It is weird, though. I've never been somebody that really talked politics, I mean, mostly because of ignorance and also because I don't necessarily care. But
yeah,
it is weird that you could, talk to somebody about it, and everybody would just be like, I don't see it that way, but I hear what you're saying. And it's so different now. Like you said in the intro to the story, it's so the division is so strong.
Pant wetters.
You kind of get nervous talking about a lot of stuff now, though, because things are political, and you're like, oh, wait, that's political?
Yes.
Wait,
Yeah.
People know how to spin. They know how to spin any damn thing you say now and then label you as this political party, that political party, this political. It's completely out of effing control.
Can you imagine 6 months ago or maybe a year ago, somebody getting the wrong beer and never hearing what was going on with that?
Right. Yeah. Uh-huh.
You're going, wait a minute. Why am I this or that? I don't understand.
That friggin' scene, sure, comes into play. I mean, just imagine this is actually possible. This is for all you pant wetters out there. This is actually possible. There can be a human being, maybe even many human beings, who share multiple different views. I might have a thought that you'd call Republican, but oh my God, I might actually have a thought that you'd consider Democratic. I might actually have a thought that's liberal. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But now everyone, you just say one thing and you're pigeonholed into this particular spot.
It's weird, isn't it?
It's actually possible that someone can have their own grown-up thoughts and they might cover all kinds of different labels and political views.
I miss those days.
Yeah. Consider it. It's a possibility. I'm just saying it's a possibility.
Can you imagine? This is a couple things you'll probably never see, but wouldn't it be refreshing? You're driving down the road and you see a brand new Prius next to you, and it's got a giant Trump flag hanging off it. Or just a big rusted old pickup truck, and there's a Harris Walls bumper sticker. it'd be nice just like the stereotypes go away.
No, it's just bananas.
My brother, who he and I are on, we disagree on quite a bit politically. I mean, not that it doesn't define our relationship. We don't pay any attention to it. But he always says, if there was a bunch of us sitting around a campfire just BSing, shooting and we could talk to each other, we'd probably agree on like 90% of stuff. Most people, just an average person probably would.
Yeah. It's just hard to understand and hard to believe the way things have turned out. Now, I'm not trying to be difficult here, but I don't understand why this kind of report has become a thing. We see this over and over and over again. Okay, it says here, porn viewing traffic on the internet slowed way down a few nights ago when the American presidential debates were on television. Well, yeah, we're not animals.
Yeah, duh.
We can't be masturbating to Angela White ass worship videos 7 damn days a week.
Oh, I read this wrong. I thought people were masturbating to the debate. I thought I don't need Pornhub. I'm going to turn this on and masturbate to it.
Maybe.
But yeah, they keep pumping out this report. Hey, porn viewing was down during the Super Bowl. Well, yeah, brother, I had company over.
Are you going to tell me it's down on Christmas Day now, too?
Yeah, what are we, 13 years old? Hey, what happened? They turned off the porn. Well, there are other things that we need to get around to now and again. Does Pornhub just release these numbers just for the sake of getting their name mentioned?
Oh, I think so. I mean, it's kind of interesting, I think, sometimes, because they'll break down state by state who's masturbating less, who's more into this type of thing. It's pretty funny. You mentioned something about having company over. Your thoughts on mutual masturbation? Because sometimes you can have company over and you both still masturbate.
I'm all for it.
You are?
Yeah, I'll play.
Yeah, I'm a fan.
Yeah. What, you having a get-together or something?
No, it popped into my head.
Yeah, it kind of seemed like you were testing the waters there, Josh.
Yeah. Well,
you know me, I'm not shy.
The only reason for that is because I was testing the waters, Dana.
Oh, right.
You in?
Yeah.
67 million people watched those debates, whenever that was, a few days ago. I watched it. It was straight up hilarious at times. Friggin' hilarious. Anyway, streaming on Pornhub was down 14%.
I hope they survive.
But the Pornhub, that's not how a guy says it. The report does say that Pornhub traffic started picking up again after the first commercial break. So a lot of folks didn't stay tuned to the presidential debates for very long. They went right back to... Because here's the deal. All my favorite porn gals are going to be right there waiting for me whenever I decide to swing by to see them again.
Finally, a commercial, I can whack it.
Oh, if it's the Loom lady, I'm tempted. Yeah. Or is it Loomy?
Loomy?
Yeah, Loomy lady.
She's hot. My favorite porn gals are going to be right there waiting for me whenever I have some free time. Belladonna will be there and likely doing something disgusting.
Yep.
I think I know you guys well enough to know the answer to this question, but maybe just for whoever's around right now. On Christmas or a religious holiday, if you grew up religious, like I know you did, Nick.
Well, they tried to push it on us, but yeah.
You grew up in that
There were some
environment.
elements of it, yes.
I mean, would you take a day off?
Okay, you're asking me when I was
like
a kid?
on a religious holiday.
Like when I was a 15, 16-year-old kid, would I take a day off from filth because it was Christmas or a religious holiday?
Yeah.
No.
Really?
Yeah, no. You get a lot of cool videos, too. It's like themed.
So
holiday themed.
Well, you're talking about the modern days now. Yeah. When you go to Pornhub on Christmas, they've got a bunch of gals dressed like reindeer and okay.
Yeah, and the Pornhub O is a wreath.
We didn't have that option when I was a 14, 15-year-old kid. No, I didn't consider things like that, Josh. I'm guessing you did because
God, yeah.
Your family was... In my family, my mother pushed religion. My sister fell into line with it. The rest of us tried to ignore the both of them as much as possible. You had a much more strict religious upbringing.
Yeah, I mean, when I discovered myself, and then discovered myself quite a lot after I first discovered myself, I'll tell you, those religious holidays, yeah, you take a break.
Josh could never spank it on Sunday.
God, no. Well, on Sunday, Sundays are a little different. I wouldn't do it at church. Like on a religious holiday, I felt like, I probably shouldn't do that.
Mick Foley's that same way, Josh. He wrote about it in his book, how he has a strict rule, no intercourse on Christmas Day.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh. And he talked about there was one time when he was a much younger guy, his wife was just ready to go, and he had to wait until 12:01 to do it.
Well,
that seems a little different to me. But I hear what he's saying.
Hey, this is great. Septum Ring Jesus texted in. And he went ahead and watched the porno movie that I brought up yesterday while we're on the topic of porno movies.
Oh, great.
He went and watched, if you forgot, yesterday I brought up a porn movie because I loved the title so much. And the title was, Dad, will you please stop effing my sorority sisters? And Septum Ring Jesus said he watched it yesterday and said he thought it was not bad at all. Good for you, son.
I mean, I don't want to give him a spoiler, but did the dad stop effing this?
Yeah, you guys asked me the same question.
Yeah, I asked him yesterday. He said no. It actually encouraged the dad.
When he was asked to stop.
He was very defiant.
Yes, he was very defiant.
I just meant at the very end, if it had a happy ending for this poor young lady.
It had a happy ending. There's a refractory period. So, yeah, he had to take a little bit off. By the way, Snot Rocket Jesus and I, we're in the same boat when it comes to taking a day off on a religious holiday. You can just let that thing rest for a bit.
By the way, Josh.
I noticed. God dang it.
Look at yourself.
I was hoping you didn't notice. I noticed.
Okay, you guys.
Did you notice me stop?
Yes,
oh,
because you noticed me noticing.
Because that's how I noticed that I was doing it.
If you don't mind us going back, to the beginning of the show.
No. God darn it.
At the very beginning of the show, Josh was gifted a suction cup dildo by a listener. We had some fun with it. We're still trying to name it. It is suction cupped to Josh's work area. It's suction cupped to your countertop right in front of you where you're broadcasting. And while we've been having this stupid news conversation, he's been constantly handling that suction cup dildo.
It's like a joystick.
Yeah, I've been grabbing it by the shaft.
You have.
And pulling it off the table and putting it back on. So I'm just doing this.
Yeah. You've been fondling it.
I have this whole
You can't help it. Can't help it.
It's like a fidget spinner.
Yeah, it's just, it's natural. It's natural.
Yeah.
Here, go put it into first gear real quick. There you go. Now, second.
All right.
Third.
Yep.
Well, you got to reverse now.
Oh, God.
I got to go all back around.
Do I pull the ring or do I pull it back like this?
You got it. That's been fun to watch. I wanted to make sure folks knew what you've been doing.
I thought, oh, my God. What have I been doing? And then you noticed it.
All right, what are we doing now?
Now we're getting suggestions for Bob. We can't call it Bob, battery-operated boyfriend, because this is just a rubber dildo.
There's no battery option.
Yeah.
No battery option.
This is hand power, or I guess suctioned wall power.
Again, you're wiggling it at me.
God dang it.
You're still you're gesturing
I know.
at me with this dildo.
Will somebody please take this phallus away from me? I can't stop playing with it.
If you put it over here, I bet I'd do the same thing. All right, where else are we going with this? All right, we got to deal with another one of these types of folks. I don't know what they want from us. It's a German lady. She's 36 years old by the name of Michelle. She wants everyone to know that she's gone ahead and ended her 9-year-long romantic relationship with an airplane.
Oh, poor airplane.
It's a Boeing 737 airplane, like a real big fat ass. How many people can you pile into there? At first, maybe I thought it was a toy airplane. But no, she claims she's had a romantic relationship with a real working friggin'. The separation that they had recently was amicable. They're going to try and remain friends. Again, I don't know what these people want from us, and I don't know why people still cover these types of stories. This was printed in a German newspaper. Why they would print it, I have no idea. I'm going to guess that this Michelle lady terrifies them, and the newspaper is assuming that if they print her story, she will spare their lives.
Could be.
So she started dating an airplane 10 years ago. She said that it was the most attractive plane she's ever seen.
You know, there's a lot of things your kids could do to disappoint you. This is one you might not see coming as a parent.
Yeah. She was particularly drawn to the air. What do you call those things on the sides? The wings. When she would touch the wings, and she did, she would set up visits with this airplane in the friggin' hangar. What? I don't know. She knew somebody who knew somebody. They'd let her. This gal masturbates a lot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. She would stroke the wings. And I just, she said we had relaxing evenings together. When we'd go to bed, we'd cuddle and fall asleep together. What do you mean?
Sleeping in the hangar.
I don't know. Is that what she means?
I would think so.
Oh my gosh, no.
I'd imagine she's got a thing for the cockpit, don't you?
Yeah.
I was trying to think. Have I ever fallen in love with an inanimate object? And the closest I could come is there was a tree at Lake Harriet that had a beautiful knot in it. I mean, it was anatomically correct for what I understand a woman's vagina to look like.
Sure.
And I did have thoughts.
Yeah.
Impure ones. I never acted on it.
Not on a Catholic holiday,
No.
though.
No.
Yeah.
Definitely not. I'd never acted on it, but there was times I thought, I love that tree.
Feelings, emotions you had.
Anybody else? Please?
I've never been in
Please
love
don't
with it.
leave me there.
No, I've never been in love.
So.
Nothing. You've never looked at something and thought, oh, man.
No.
I really don't think so.
No, not the
You
top
guys
of my
all
head.
have. Just, you have and you're afraid to say it.
Totally.
Don't leave me alone on this.
I'm not saying a word.
You bastards. You should have seen this tree.
I was going to say, sure it's still there.
If there's anybody that lives in that area, if you don't mind sending a pic, so you guys know what I'm talking about.
I think I edited something out. Oh, no, here it is. This Michelle lady who was dating an airplane. She has objectophilia, a condition in which individuals form emotional and romantic bonds with inanimate objects. Okay, yeah, sure, I've heard that story before. She thought about marrying the plane, but they broke up. The only time she could be close to him was when she was flying on him. Or, like I said, on rare occasions when she had access to it in a hangar.
I mean, you take away her privilege to fly at that point, don't you?
Yes.
If you're an airline?
I'm frightened.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm frightened and I don't trust her.
Because what if she decides midair that if she can't have the plane, no one can, and tries to bring it down?
Dude.
I was even thinking 9 years. She could have gotten like a mechanic license in that time, and then she could see it all she wants.
I'm sorry? She could do what?
Like get an airplane mechanic license.
Get hands-on.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then she could work on that bad boy all the time.
Yeah, she could have found a way. It's true.
All right, this is much more interesting airplane-related news here. The folks who run Delta Airlines are now pushing a strict underwears regulation on their flight attendants. They sent out a memo to all the flight attendants saying that when they're working, they got to wear drawers. Proper undergarments, they call it, Cubby, and they must not be visible.
Do you remember, we've had a couple of uniform memos that have come out over the years, and they're quite different.
I have vague memories.
There was once we received a memo saying that all on-air people needed to start dressing up because a client could be in the building at some point, and they wanted us to look presentable.
Yes, I remember that, and none of us took it seriously. No one adapted to that memo.
I think I bought one, what are those called? They have a collar on them. Polo shirt.
Yeah.
I bought one polo shirt.
Yeah.
And I wore it maybe once, and that was it. So nobody took to that. And then we got another memo.
This clothing related or wardrobe, whatever you want to call it, related memo was much more fun.
Now, this one had some bad words in it.
Yeah.
Multiple bad words.
Listen, mother effers, like that kind of thing.
Yeah, this is an effing rock station. If I see one more person tuck in their shirt, you're fired.
Oh, my God.
And then the person had to send something out going, okay, I guess I'm not allowed to fire you for something like that, but please, look the part. Which is almost equally as annoying.
Things were so silly around here for a while. Oh my God!
Decide.
Everybody had to try so hard to out-rocker each other. It was just the dumbest group of people. Now, this guy you're referencing that sent out the memo, I actually really liked him.
He had his moments.
He had a bad moment there. I don't know. Maybe he was getting pressure from somebody else.
He had a bit of a temper.
But it was so stupid around here for a while. It was so phony. You've heard us have these conversations before. So much phoniness going on.
Some people are texting in saying their workplace has underwear rules as well. You know, a while ago, I'd imagine the style where everybody's pants were falling off. Maybe had someone write a memo or two.
There's all kinds of other regulations listed in this memo from Delta Airlines to their employees, talking about hairdos and your hygiene and your tattoos. But the most interesting part is they told the ladies, look, you got to put some little underwears on your bottom, and they can't be visible. Don't be coming off with the mouth with profanity. It goes on from there.
Well, I think if we've learned anything from this little conversation, it's that every single one of us on the show has looked at an inanimate object, which is not an easy word to say, and had some thoughts, impure thoughts.
You are the only one. I'm sorry, Josh. It's time to just embrace, your weirdness. It's okay.
Unfortunately, there's no way we could go back and check a tape or anything like that, but I remember you all saying that. I had a thought.
Yes.
And maybe this counts because it's not alive. The Towsley Motorsports mannequins. Now, both of us had a thing for them.
Yeah.
So,
All right, fine.
All right, there's something there.
I mean, the difference is that Towsley Motorsports mannequin was built like a gorgeous stacked lady where you wanted to bang a tree in a park.
I'm sorry, I don't see a difference.
We got to take a break.
The branches look like arms, Nick, and then the leaves were hair.
I think it's medication time here.
Basically a woman.
Medication time, gentlemen.
I want her.
Medication time. That would be the comedy.
That would have been an awesome time to hit the
if you know
93X.
comedy, that would be the cue where you just hit the thing.
Yeah, that would have been perfect.
We got to work this out off air.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
They got their heads up their ass.
On 93X.
Right now on the Luther Bloomington Kia text line, text MONSTER, 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 to 651-989-9393 for a chance to win tickets to Skillet in Seether. This will be taking place Sunday, October 20th at the Armory. Prize provided by Live Nation. This keyword is good today, September 18th until midnight.
Sports on the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Will does a thing where he gets his hair cut a week before the first game of the season, and he doesn't cut his hair again until he misses. So we'll see if we can get a little shag going for Will.
Well, that's cute. I believe that was the Vikings special team coach. His name is Gary Klengbauer.
Matt Daniels.
He's set. Matt Daniels. What is that?
Matt Damon.
Team America World Police.
Yeah. Matt Damon.
The Vikings kicker, a kid by the name of Will, is it Reichard?
Reichard. Commander Reichard.
Pardon me?
Commander Reichard.
He has a hair superstition. He's not going to cut his hairdo until he misses a kick. Okay? Let's keep track of that now. It'd be a lot more fun, in my opinion, if, say, he didn't shower. Until it would just be disgusting, and his teammates would be throwing, soap and hot water at the kid. But we can cover this a little more thoroughly with Randy Shaver and Brad Ryder. There's some more information. So he cuts his hairdo, like you heard the coach say, a week before the season begins, and he doesn't cut it until he misses a kick. So he might end up looking like Artemis Pyle by the end of the season, depending on how well he can grow his hair out.
Yeah, it looked pretty. At the end of the season, hopefully, the guy looks like one of those cavemen from the old insurance commercials.
Sure.
I loved those.
I'm sure that win last night in Cleveland felt damn good for the Twins. They beat the Guardians 4-1. Pretty thorough ball game for the Twins. Things got iffy in the ninth inning, of course, but I bet you that felt terrific for the guys because it's been a struggle lately. Randy Shaver and Brad Ryder and Jungle Jane will be here in about 25-30 minutes to get into all of this stuff. Until then, stick around. Josh's news is coming up next.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Did you know that Standard Heating opened its doors over 90 years ago? That's right. Tony Ferreira opened the doors in 1930. Now ran by his granddaughter, Claire Ferreira. Call Standard Heating and Air Conditioning today and experience the customer service and care that holds true today.
Are you looking to improve your work-life balance with excellent benefits like 401k match and even tuition reimbursement? Standard Heating and Air is looking for an accounting administrator and customer service representatives to join their team. Learn more at standardheating.com/careers today.
The Bigger Pockets portfolio of podcasts are worthy of your investment.
The whole idea of what a house is worth is actually subjective.
New episodes available every day.
I've heard a lot of people who are starting to move into flipping because it really has good margins in today's market.
Whether it's real estate, on the market, rookie, or money,
I do think that mortgage rates will come down.
The Bigger Pockets podcasts are on YouTube or wherever you listen.
Half-assed morning show. 93X.
We needed to essentially tunnel from the side using jackhammers, using sawzalls, create some space to get in there, get a member underneath them in order to free up his legs. And once that was done, the guys on top and from below were able to lift him up and out.
An 11-year-old boy from New Hampshire lost aura Sunday after getting stuck between two huge boulders for 9 hours. No cap. Because the story involves a middle-aged boy, I've decided, a middle-aged schoolboy, I should say. Middle school-aged boy is how I actually should say.
There, you got there.
Yeah. I'm shook. You guys left me hanging on wanting to hump an inanimate object earlier. By the way, a texter said his wife considers him an inadequate object when it comes to
Please tell me at some point this morning you have a story about a middle-aged schoolboy. I got to hear that.
That's Adam Sandler's new movie.
Yes, middle-aged schoolboy. My God, it's hilarious.
Middle school-aged boy is how a guy would say that if he knew how to talk for a living.
You said he lost aura? What does that mean?
That's something that I've heard my son and I'm going with stuff that I hear my son and his friends say.
Uh-huh.
So, let's say I tripped. Oh, you lost aura. You know, you've lost something there. You're no longer cool. You're down a few notches. You screwed up.
I'll be damned.
So anyways, some nonsense words that maybe parents in the listening audience hear their kids say. You're probably bombarded with them like I am.
Okay.
And I'm going to use some of these wrong. I don't fully know how to use all of them.
That's all right.
According to the Skibbity School, the incident happened Sunday night while the student was exploring a rocky area while under staff supervision. Then, what the Sigma? The ground beneath gave way, and he low-key slipped into the tight space between the rocks. I'll show you a tight space that rocks. Help came from everywhere, with response teams from 5 nearby communities showing up, bringing in heavy rescue trucks for the job. With rope, soap, and Riz, firefighters gradually worked to free him about 3:15 a.m. Monday. Luckily, after a checkup at the hospital, the boy was said to be just fine.
All right, so seeing how I misunderstood most of what you were saying with the new age slang, what happened there?
Well, a kid got stuck between a couple of big rocks.
Oh.
He was there for 9 hours.
Man.
And it was a very difficult rescue, but they eventually got him out. They had to dig him out. They tried to move the boulders. That wasn't working. They thought about breaking the boulders and then decided against that.
Man.
They had some departments showed up from 40 miles away.
40 miles?
Trying to get there.
All right. Well, this kid got lucky, huh?
He did, and he's still a kid. He's a middle school kid, 11 years old. A 70-year-old Louisiana gym teacher threatened to shoot his third-grade class, warning students some wouldn't survive, but others would, he said, because he didn't have enough bullets for all of them. The gym teacher told the students there were, quote, too many of y'all to get rid of, and he only had 6 bullets in his gun, the sheriff's office said. According to the release, he told deputies after the incident he felt overwhelmed and just wanted the children to settle down, insisting he wasn't threatening them when he obviously threatened them. He was arrested last week and barred from returning to school while the case is pending.
Jeez, dude, chill out.
Well, he had a meltdown.
Correct.
Everybody folds now and again.
Yeah, a lot of them don't threaten to kill little kids, but yeah, this particular guy did. But he was reasonable.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go buy more bullets. I'm going to kill the ones of you I can with the bullets I already have. An elementary school teacher accidentally taught a couple students how to masturbate. 26-year-old Harvey Cole, a substitute teacher at Bridge Prep Academy in Riverview, Florida.
He did what?
He accidentally taught a masturbation lesson.
Accidentally?
Yeah, he thought he was going to be alone in the classroom during lunch break, so he tried a little homemade meatloaf during lunch.
Son of a bitch, he did not.
He did. Unfortunately, 2 students walked in on Cole masturbating. The school reported the incident to law enforcement the next day. I don't know why they waited a day, but they did. The man's actions are utterly reprehensible and a complete violation of the trust placed in educators, said Sheriff Chad Chronister. Police say this is an active and ongoing investigation.
Oh, that's just disgusting.
A 37-year-old Michigan, there's more. A 37-year-old Michigan church leader's been arrested and fired after confessing to putting a hidden camera inside a church bathroom to spy on other employees. Will Johnson, the worship pastor director of a church in Brighton, was busted Friday when a staff member found the hidden camera in the bathroom, the Body of Christ. Confronted by other church leaders, Johnson confessed to placing the camera there, prompting his immediate dismissal. He told detectives he placed the camera in the bathroom intermittently over the past 2 years, targeting specific church employees known to use that bathroom. There's particular ones he wanted to watch poop and pee.
He had his favorites.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
A 30-year-old Minneapolis police officer has been fired for reportedly engaging in sexual activity multiple times while in uniform and on the job.
You know, it'd be so tempting, wouldn't it, Josh?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and I kind of think if you have a high-stress job like that, you know, you're in the military, you're a first responder, and a lot of our listeners have high-stress construction jobs, whatever it is, you should be able to have a little bit of time on, you know, maybe like a personal day. You can take a personal day.
A personal
You get
day.
a hump day.
Yeah.
One a
there
month.
you go.
One a month. Maybe you're vetted after 2 years of service. Then you can get in on that.
What was this guy doing? Picking gals up and parking in the dark alley and all that kind of a scene?
That's right.
Word.
The 30-year-old sexually active officer was fired earlier this year after being accused of meeting a woman during a shift to deliver a shaft. Instead of protecting and serving, as on-duty officers are supposed to do, the now-fired officer was getting serviced, skipping the protecting part altogether, which led to his termination.
That's going to cause a problem.
Yep. His termination letter, published this week, reveals an internal investigation found he got it on while on duty and in uniform with a woman he met through a dating app. He exchanged pictures and messages referencing his status as a police officer and asking if the woman was interested in sex acts while he was in uniform. Turns out she was. He was further accused of using a city squad car to leave his assigned precinct and meet the woman after finding her address through private records held by MPD.
Boy, that's hot stuff.
Yeah, like you said. I mean, that's got to be on both sides. I'd imagine she's thinking, well, this ought to be fun.
Yeah, man in uniform.
A 25-year-old Florida man is behind bars after he poured an unknown liquid on a butt of a patron at Miami area Ross Dress for Less.
Poured liquid on somebody's ass?
Yeah, unknown. They know, but so far they haven't confirmed. Apparently, police said the victim was shopping at the store when patrons came up to her and told her a man wearing a Miami Dolphins hat was holding a syringe and squirted an unknown liquid on the back of her jean shorts.
Oh, no.
Then he started filming her, presumably so the Dolphins fan could go home and give it the old tug of Vialoa. Witnesses told the employees
What the hell was that?
I had to look up how to pronounce the guy's name for that joke. I had no idea how to pronounce it. He gave her the old, tug of Vialoa. Witnesses told store employees who called cops, but the suspect fled before deputies arrived. Cops were also investigating a similar incident in June with the same suspect wearing the same Dolphins hat. Detectives reportedly identified 25-year-old Sean Uribe as the suspect and recovered 3 syringes with a viscous white liquid consistent with semen in his bedroom, they said.
That's where he had it. He had it in his bedroom.
They also found the same clothes surveillance video showed the suspect was wearing during the incidents.
Yeah,
So he had a uniform when he went out and did those despicable acts.
Man.
Let's get rid of this guy.
A 23-year-old man from Illinois is facing attempted murder charges after he stabbed a man with a butter knife following a heated argument over peanut butter and jelly. According to court documents, a witness told police the argument began Sunday over peanut butter and the victim not cleaning up after themselves. The witness said she tried to intervene, but Javon Owens pulled out a butter knife and stabbed the victim, who survived because it was a butter knife. The victim told police the argument started over someone leaving peanut butter and jelly on the counter. That escalated to the point where he began throwing punches at Owens, unaware he'd been stabbed because it was a butter knife.
Mm-hmm.
Owens can't quite figure it out. He's been on probation and apparently was at the time of the PBJ stabbing.
Can we talk peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for a minute, Cubby?
Yeah.
What about them?
Have any of you ever experienced this obvious case of mental illness where someone makes you a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and they put friggin' butter on the bread first?
No.
I've had that. I don't mind. I have a peanut butter
good.
sandwich every day.
I don't think I've had it, but it sounds good.
All right, so you folks have problems too.
Yeah, I can't say I've
You
ever...
should reel in disgust at the sight of a peanut butter and jelly sandwich with butter on the bread as well. You should throw it at the person who made it for you. You should dump insults on that person, and you should leave their home and never come back.
But they made you something.
I don't care.
Oh.
They made it wrong.
Oh, my God.
A New Jersey couple found themselves in handcuffs Sunday after an unusual weapon was used to knock out a woman during a late-night altercation. The weapon of choice was not only effective in knocking the woman out, but it was both cheesy and yummy. It was pizza. The chaotic scene unfolded about 2:56 a.m. when police responded to reports of a brawl involving several people. According to authorities, things spiraled out of control when 35-year-old Damian Pinheiro started harassing another couple and threw a punch at the woman, knocking her to the ground. But it didn't stop there. He reportedly turned his attention to the woman's boyfriend, even pulling out a knife at one point. While this was happening, 47-year-old Keila Diaz decided to jump in. And in a bizarre twist, she knocked the female victim unconscious with a pizza. Both the couple are now facing a slew of charges for their late-night antics.
Doesn't sound right at all, Josh.
Not at all. A terrifying scene unfolded at a Seattle area movie theater when 30-year-old Devon Mayfield allegedly threatened to shoot everyone inside.
Oh.
The chaos erupted at Regal Thornton Place on Friday, where people in Theater 11 were settling in for the latest film in the Alien franchise, Alien Romulus, when Mayfield became upset with the couple who passed by his seat twice, leading to an argument. Mayfield reportedly pistol-whipped the couple at the Alien movie, nearly Ripleying off the man's ear. See, that's a character in the movie. Before yelling threats to shoot up the theater and everyone in it.
The alleged suspect didn't want the patrons to pass by. Shortly after, an argument ensued and a fight broke out between the patrons. People heard the yelling of, "I've got a gun, I'll shoot you, and I'll shoot everyone."
Pretty scary. He actually did have a gun.
Did he have a tough day leading up to this experience or what?
He must have. Yeah, something was going on. I mean, usually if somebody walks by you a couple times, you're not going to want to shoot up the entire theater.
My God.
He snapped a bit. He was held down by bystanders until police arrived.
Man.
This is pretty cool. Fans who missed Metallica's two-night Minneapolis takeover at US Bank Stadium last month can get in on the experience or relive it if you were there. The band released live recordings of both sets of its live Metallica on their livemetallica.com website. You can get that as a download or a 2-CD set if you'd prefer. Though the sound inside US Bank Stadium is often criticized, the live recordings are pulled from the soundboard, cutting out the echoey reverb some fans heard live.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
All the tracks can be previewed on the band's website.
You know what I did this morning, Cubby, on the way into work? I listened to the St. Anger record, or as much as I could between my house and work. I hadn't listened to that record in years and years. What in God's name were they doing?
I don't know. Is it just kind of like, boy, we've done so much. Let's do something we've never done before.
I don't know. It's been a long time since I listened to it.
That drum sound. I've heard people remix it with a better drum sound.
Yeah.
And it's so much better.
Yeah. Man. If you don't know what we're talking about, give it a listen once. And you're supposed to believe that they were no longer drinking when they made that record.
The series premiere of Agatha All Along is now streaming on Disney+. Catherine Hahn returns as Agatha Harkness, who puts together a coven to regain powers the Scarlet Witch stripped from her in WandaVision. Aubrey Plaza stars as well. Ted Lasso star Jason Sudeikis, 49 today. Wanted to let you know about Day of the Dozers this Saturday from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. at ERX Motor Park in Elk River. A great event for kids to learn about construction. All proceeds benefit Children's Hospital of Minnesota. That sounds awesome.
I would love that as a kid.
Yeah, shoot, I'd love that as an adult.
Yeah.
Thank you to Milling Jesus for making us aware of that event. Happy birthdays to Metalhead Jesus and his twin brother Derek, turning 37. Happy anniversary to Hannah and Dustin. Happy 14th anniversary to Sarah and Tony. Congratulations to Plumbing and Heating Jesus and his baby mama, going in for his third child, a baby girl named Maisie, who joins the sisterhood today. And happy birthday to KARE from your husband, Metal Hand Finishing Jesus. That's 93X News.
Randy Shaver.
There's always something new with him. He's an embarrassment to himself. This guy's he comes around this community, he thinks he runs in here.
On the Half-Assed Morning Show.
Castro unloads to right field and deep. Back it goes and gone! Willie Castro comes up with a huge September swing. A 2-out, 2-run homer. And the Twins take a 4-1 lead.
Ah, man, how wonderful it is to welcome Randy Shaver and Brad Ryder to the program. It's wonderful, I said.
Well, it's wonderful to be with you.
Just wonderful.
Thank you, Brad Ryder. Thank you, Randy Shaver. And to add to our feelings of great wonder, Janel Klein has also found her way into the building. Hello.
Good morning.
Hey, Janelle.
Hi, Janelle.
Hi,
Isn't
guys.
that sweet?
Isn't
It sure is.
You look extra fancy this morning. Does that mean you're going on a Tinder date after you leave here or something?
Yes. How did you know? How did you know?
You know, that's the not that, but a similar line is always said around here, and I know you've heard it a million times, Nick. If somebody's dressed a little nicer than usual, someone always asks if they have an interview after the show or something like that.
Yep.
We hear that
Well,
all the
because
time.
we all know the standard morning radio outfit. Garbage, baggy, dirty clothes, and a hat over unwashed hair. It's been that way for decades. So you're right. When someone shows up looking like more than garbage or better than garbage, yeah, you assume something's going on. Is it a Tinder date?
It is. I have so many to fit in during a day.
Yes.
I gotta start.
You don't even know how to swipe whatever the wrong way is.
Exactly.
You'll say yes to anything.
Every 20 minutes. Just cycle them through.
Janelle actually always does look nice, way nicer than the typical morning radio style, because you move on with your life when you leave here. This is it for us. You know what I mean?
This is all we've got.
Once this is over, we go home and fall unconscious into bed for a couple hours while, raining Cheetos into our yaps, So you have a life. You have a life. You look nice, Janelle.
Thank you very much.
Right. Give us an update on that date.
I sure will.
Yeah, please do.
Can we come with?
You can totally come to the wedding, Dana.
Okay.
Man. All right, Brad Ryder, Randy Shaver, Jungle Jane. We appreciate you being part of the program. I was saying
Heck of a crew.
Isn't it a nice gathering? I'm sure that win, I was saying earlier, that win in Cleveland felt damn good for the Twins last night. How about we had the audio there? Willie Castro hauled it out and hit a 2-run dong in the 8th inning.
Rocco!
They beat the Guardians 4-1. Nice bounce back, wouldn't you say?
I would say definitely. And, Seattle and Boston are struggling right now. They cannot seem to find a way to win baseball games, which is great for the Twins. The only concern now is the Tigers, and they keep winning. They won last night in 10 innings, so they stay a game and a half back. But the Twins got a decent outing from Zebby Matthews last night. Cole Sands continues to be a bullpen stopper. He was again last night in getting the win. He's been fabulous. So it was a big win, no doubt about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not even a case of a feel-good win now. They need every single win they can get. And the Tigers, I was looking at this morning, the Tigers finished the season with 3 games against the White Sox. There's no way the White Sox win any of those games. So
that bell indicates something we covered yesterday with Dick Bramer.
Okay. So the Twins, sorry. I'm not on with you guys.
It's okay, Brad.
It's worth repeating, though.
It is worth repeating.
But I was just about to follow up and reiterate that the Twins better have at least a 2 or 3 game lead on Detroit going into that last weekend.
You're right, Brad Ryder.
Well, you have to give some credit to the Twins, though, too. I know they played Baltimore in their last series, and Baltimore's very good, but it doesn't mean the Twins are going to fall down and lose that.
No, but they better hope Baltimore is locked in somewhere, either to that first wild card or, they're probably not going to win the division. But if Baltimore's lining up their pitching that weekend, then, they're going to catch a little bit of a break, I think.
It was a nice bounce-back win after that piss bag of a loss in the series opener. They beat the Guardians 4-1. The defense was there for the Twins last night. The bullpen was pretty damn sharp. I know things got interesting in the friggin' ninth inning.
Yeah.
But Griffin Jacks got her done and got the save. So that snaps a 5-game losing streak in Cleveland. You mentioned that Zebby Matthews, a damn rookie, who we talk up and down about how, oh, my God, we've got these rookies having to perform in these huge ball games.
Right.
He was great. 1 out shy of a win.
Right.
The biggest moment in the ball game, if you ask me, 7th inning, Twins are up 2-1. The Guardians got something going with a leadoff single. That Manzardo dork with the Top Gun Maverick mustache, right? Like every dude under 25 has going these days. He leads off the 7th with a single. The Guardians tossed a pinch runner out there. They were getting serious about moving that guy up. And the Twins relief pitcher, Rony Hernandez, picked the sumbitch off at first base.
Yeah.
Biggest play in the ballgame, if you ask me.
Yep.
So game 3 of 4 is tonight.
And the Ober's on the hill, which is really good.
Bailey Ober against Tanner Bybee.
And he's really good, too. It's going to be a good pitching matchup. These series, these games with Cleveland are all tight, low-scoring, good pitching matchups. You never expect a blowout game against Cleveland. You always expect it to be a tough pitching matchup. So
they got some pitching on their side. They do, Randy Shaver.
It is fun to scoreboard watch, though. As the Twins are playing. I know the Mariners are at home, so they're a late night game. But Boston's in Tampa, so it's kind of fun to see them. And Detroit, Kansas City. Who would have guessed? Here we are, middle of September, and this series, these two teams are worth watching. I mean, the whole division, in fact, is crazy good.
Mm-hmm.
With Detroit coming on like they have to be in the wild card chase. But who would have guessed that would be the case?
Well, I know we've talked about it for a while. You specifically have talked about it for a while. I don't think this is a fluke here with like the Tigers being good and the Royals being good. They've got a lot of young talent and a lot of good young pitching on both of those teams, and they're going to be good for a while. So I think this isn't a 1-year fluky type of thing.
The whole division, the whole division minus the White Sox has overachieved.
You think so?
Yeah.
I
disagree.
I'm not so sure about overachieving. I think they've come of age, I guess is how I look at it.
Yeah.
And
Brad Ryder, you think that you thought the Indians, Twins, Royals...
No, I didn't think before the season started. I mean, they're maybe a year or two ahead of what I thought, but I'm saying in the future, 2025, 26, these teams are going to be in this position again. This isn't just a 1-year.
Oh, no, I'm not arguing that. No, they all look set to be successful for a stretch of time.
Yeah.
And I would say that Kansas City's GM deserves some credit because the trades they made for Lugo and Waka, who at the time
you're making those names up.
I am not.
Lugo and Waka. I mean,
but at the time they made those deals or they signed those free agents or however they acquired those two pitchers, it didn't really make front page news. It wasn't a big splash.
Mm-hmm.
But man, you look at what both Seth Lugo and Michael Waka have done for Kansas City. I think they're both better than 13-game winners. That's pretty impressive to bring in two starting pitchers like that.
Makes a GM look like a genius.
Absolutely.
Janel Klein, let's say you've got two guys looking to go on a Tinder date with you. One of them's named Lugo, and the other one is Waka. Which do you choose?
God, that would be a tough one.
Lugo or Waka, which do you choose?
That's tough.
And think about it this way, Janelle. Mm-hmm. If you end up falling in love and you married him, your last name is either Lugo or Waka.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, what do you guys think sounds better?
I think Janelle Lugo sounds pretty cool.
I like that too. It's mysterious.
Yeah, Janelle Lugo.
Janelle Lugo. You would just become, I don't know.
Just one name?
I'd try them both.
I don't get to see pictures before, just the name.
Just you're going by names.
Janelle doesn't have time for both. She's got, she's got to make a decision.
Here's a text message from OG's Jesus. He says, enough about the Twins. Show High has 11 more games to get 2 more steals and 2 more home runs to get into the 50-50 club. Let's go, he says. Yeah, I'm sort of following that. I'm sure when it happens, we're all going to fall down and touch ourselves. Sorry if we're not given a daily Show High update, but yeah, he's going to get there, right?
I think, didn't Acuna got there last year, right? So
that sounds familiar to me.
He would be the first, this would be like maybe the first back-to-back 50-50s we've had if he gets there.
All right.
I think the steals are pretty much a given. He's going to steal it. He's going to try to steal every time he gets on.
Right.
He will. And he'll get on more. It's the home runs. If he can hit 2 in the next week and a half.
And then social anxiety Jesus has to be a dick this morning. He says, we can't win the division, referring to the Twins. What's the point?
Know that.
What's the point of getting the wild card? It's not going to go anywhere, he says. Because it's friggin' fun. I mean, usually I'm the dick who wets on everyone's parade around here because it's fun. Last year we had fun. That home game, how many games did they play against Toronto here in town?
Well, 2. They won the first 2 in the series.
Right. Remember the roar of the crowd when Royce Lewis was clubbing dongs into the upper deck in that series against Toronto? It was a riot. Even when I was in the cooler, when I was in prison, we watched the baseball playoffs on television. It was a riot. Come on, social anxiety. Jesus, just make it a beer party. What's the matter with you? And then somebody, that little prick Jose Altuve of the Houston Astros playing at San Diego last night got thrown out of the game. He took off one of his cleats and the sock on his foot, too, to try to prove a point.
He took his shoe off. And he's trying to show him where it hit him. And now he's been ejected. Or Spada has anyway. One of them have been ejected. It might have been Altuve. Showing him where he got hit. I can prove it. See, I got hit, and I'm going to show you where it is.
Those guys are having too much fun. Okay, now I'm starting.
Off, his fucking shoe comes off. That ain't Bob Schnauker's fault.
There's a limit when it comes to fun, I guess. Okay, before we get to this Show High, not Show High, what's his name again? Jose Altuve thing. A couple people texted in to say there's never been a 50-50 guy in Major League Baseball history. There's never been a guy who hit 50 home runs and stole 50 bases. So someone's got to look that up.
Or did Acuna do 40-40 last year?
That's like I said, it rings a bell, but I can't remember.
Okay.
Never been a 50-50 player, people are saying. Okay. Well, it is a big deal. Okay, Jose Altuve, tie game in the 9th last night. Did you guys see this, Randy Shaver?
I just watched it, yeah.
All right. Tie game in the 9th. Altuve grounds out to third for the final out of the inning. But he insisted that he had fouled the ball off his foot.
Right.
Which he did. He takes off his cleat and his sock trying to show the umpires where the ball hit his foot, and that got him ejected. And then his skipper got ejected because he was arguing as well. Now, here's the thing. That was a bang-bang play. It was even difficult to notice that the ball hit his toe in slow motion. There wasn't much of a change in direction in the baseball. But you know how he's wired. He's Jose Altuve. You know, he's special, so he kind of came uncorked. But I thought that was... I'm usually the first guy to criticize umpires and referees, but that was very difficult to see in real time. After the game, Altuve's going on and on saying, you know, there's 4 of those guys out there, meaning the umpires. They should be able to make that call.
Yeah.
I mean, and I agree with him 8 times out of 10, but that was difficult.
Well, and most of the umpires aren't close to where that happened either. They're a good 120 feet away.
Yeah.
They're not going to see that.
Yeah, that's the home plate umpire's call.
Right.
If he didn't see it, then
yep.
So, you know, whatever. There you go. It was fun to watch. It reminded me when Torrey Hunter tried to get naked a number of years ago at Target Field. I was at that game. That was freaking hilarious.
Yeah, it looks like no one's done the 50-50 in the same season, but there has been 2 people that have hit 50 in a season and then 50 stolen bases. It would be Barry Bonds and Brady Anderson.
Okay, I didn't follow that.
So no one's done it in the exact same season, but people have hit 50 home runs and then a couple seasons later had 50 stolen bases.
Oh,
gotcha.
The same player.
Same player.
Mm-hmm.
Like Brady Anderson hit 50 home runs one year, and then 3 years later, for example, had 50 stolen bases.
How the hell did Brady Anderson?
I know.
50 home runs?
I think we all know how
I think
Brady
we know the answer to that.
Yeah.
Brady Anderson. I haven't heard that name in a long time.
So Acuna must have done 40-40 last year. That's what we were talking about.
Someone's got to get on the internet because I don't remember these things.
I'm pretty sure that's what it was. Okay.
All right. Jose Altuve.
Yes, he did last year, 40-40.
Who? Jose
Acuna.
Altuve?
No, Acuna. Thank God, no. Acuna.
When's he going to leave us alone, that Altuve?
Well, you're going to get a dose of them if the Twins make the playoffs, because that's who they're going to play.
Yeah, well, we don't have to put up with them, though. We just beat him.
And they just
put him out of commission, and we deal with whoever the backup is.
And the Astros just got Kyle Tucker back from injury after he's been out for almost the entire season. So they're going to be healthy at that time, too.
Oh, man. What is this now? I had to jump on this. Oh. Listener just texted in, 2 Minnesota boys have retired from the NHL. As of today, yesterday, Alex Goligoski. Is that right? Okay.
Well, he announced a week or so back.
Okay, I missed it. And Stalock, the guy who played goalie here for a while. Alex Stalock, whatever.
Stalock.
All right. Jiu-Jitsu Jesus texted that in. I wanted to get to it before the text messages erased it. Okay, nice career for both of those fellas. Alex Goligoski, former Golden Gopher, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my damn. All right. This will make your skin crawl right here. A dude has been arrested, accused of stalking and harassing Paige Beckers, the University of Connecticut ladies basketball star. Some of the details in this are really frightening, and like I said, it'll make your skin smooth crawl. This dude was all over social media saying that he intended to marry her.
Oh, no.
I think when he was arrested, he had an engagement ring and some lingerie on him.
Yep.
Perfect combination.
He was walking around Connecticut aimlessly by the airport. Apparently, he took a plane ride from friggin' Oregon or something like that all the way to Connecticut. You know, the cops had a line on this sumbitch.
That's good.
Because he'd been popping off on social media for a while with a lot of creepy stuff about this Paige Beckers. And they find him walking around in the dark by the airport. Hey,
he was
man.
on a highway.
Oh, okay.
He's walking on a highway, so that a trooper pulls over. He's like, what are you doing, man?
And they, as soon as he opened his yap and they got to look at him, they're like, oh, yeah, this is the dude.
Yeah.
Walking around with an engagement ring and some drawers on him. He's a 40-year-old cat named Robert Parmalee.
Oh.
He's putting all kinds of crazy stuff on. I hope they bury this bastard down under the jail for a while. And maybe the guy can come back from this. I don't know. This is pretty creepy stuff.
That's insane.
Janel Klein, I see you nodding. You're obviously aware of this.
Yeah, we got some court documents at work about it, and you're right. It's sick. It's sick.
Dude. I don't know. He's in jail now. $100,000 bail. Think anybody's going to put that up for the guy?
Hopefully
I'm going to say no.
Well, they better have some sort of monitoring device on that guy if he gets out on bail.
Ordered to stay away from Paige Beckers and everybody else. I would like it if that, let's just stay away from everybody else as well.
Yeah.
Walking down the highway. Woo-wee. Who was that, Randy?
It wasn't me.
Who yawned into their microphone?
I tried to get as far away as possible, but it came on quickly.
You have to leave the room next time. That's a loud yawn.
It's just disappointing. It's disappointing.
Come on, everybody. Step it up. Let's keep Dana awake.
Jesus, what's the matter with you?
I haven't been able to get much sleep this week.
Yeah, all right. Well, who the hell here gets any sleep?
Well, I've been during the day. I haven't been able to get naps in because they're putting siding on the house and it's loud as hell.
Oh.
All right.
Maybe we should send the leaf blower guy to your house.
We're
Still
almost
hasn't made
to
an
that
appearance
season.
here yet.
We're almost to that season.
Come on, leaf blower guy, hurry up.
Yeah, it just needs to get cold again.
Now back to this Parmalee guy, the nut job. who was going to go ahead and marry Paige Beckers. I guess at one point or another who was that now?
Well,
is this story really that boring?
I didn't hear anything.
I didn't
see either.
I thought I heard something. No, I'm just reacting. I'm reacting.
Now you're just yawning to yourself.
Parmalee.
Is that what that was?
No.
Oh, yeah.
There was a picture on TikTok of Paige Beckers and some dode, and this Parmalee guy wrote, "I'll sacrifice him. No problem."
Man. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that guy can get fixed.
Yeah, hopefully he's put somewhere.
He has a criminal history dating way back, skis. Way back.
Josh, would you put him in the discipline volcano?
Well, I don't know that you kill the guy. You know, there's also the punishment piranha tank I'm working on.
Yeah.
I just think maybe some place where he could get some help forever. He's in that place forever.
Yeah, he's monitored by somebody.
All right. Yeah, that's hopefully Paige Beckers is doing all right. That's got to be pretty frightening.
Yep.
And I mean, Christ, can you imagine looking over your shoulder wherever you go?
Nope.
That kind of a friggin' thing.
Yeah, I mean, and you know where she's going to be, right? I mean, this guy can go to wherever she's at.
Were there any other? Can you guys think of any of these other real freaky celebrity stalking type stories? Who was it?
Didn't Britney Spears have a well-publicized one?
She was the first person that came into my mind. She's had a lot of that kind of stuff.
That I've never heard those stories. Who was the individual who, I want to say they woke up in their own home? Was it David Letterman? And
yeah, that sounds familiar.
Some lady was in his, I don't know, look up the details on that. I thought maybe he had to kind of just play along for a while until he got this individual out of their home. My damn.
Well, I can tell you it happens to athletes a lot more than is being ever reported. I mean,
I'd
a
imagine.
lot.
I can believe that. Well, tell us some stories.
Yeah, give us an example without
and
giving away
just in general, like, you know, with Timberwolves players and stuff, you would hear stories about, you know, people hanging around outside Target Center and then following them home after games, and you know, having a couple of different players would call our security guy and say, "Hey, I think somebody's following me," and then then they'd have to, you know, that happens a lot.
Just got a text here that says, "Just a reminder that we do exist." That's from licensed therapist Jesus. Yeah, sounds like he and others could use your services.
Some of you need to speak to a therapist. What does this mean to my favorite basketball club? It says here, the executive vice president of basketball operations for the Timberwolves, a cat named Sachin Gupta, is leaving his gig and taking a gig with somebody else.
Was he there when you were there, Brad?
No, he wasn't, but he's very highly regarded, so I didn't see that he's leaving. Is he leaving for a higher...
He's going for a soccer program.
Oh,
English Premier League team, Chelsea.
Yeah. Oh, well, then I would say, he got a promotion because that's, you know, I mean, the English Premier League is huge, so...
Yeah, it's massive. We're always talking about it.
Well, no, I'm not saying from here. But if, you know, if he's from, I don't know exactly where he's from, but he's obviously from over in Europe. I mean, I would think to him that's a big deal.
I'm joking around, of course. Yeah, there are some people who...
I just didn't want to get in trouble with the soccer crowd, because the soccer crowd is a very vocal crowd.
Yeah.
Passionate fans.
Okay, but you've been in the business, Brad Ryder. What does it mean when the executive vice president of basketball operations takes a walk? Does that have any effect on personnel, roster decisions?
It's a big deal because that guy, I've heard a lot about him. I've heard that he kind of runs a lot of the day-to-day stuff in the basketball department over there. So, you know, any credit that Tim Conley has gotten over the last few years, you can directly pin that on this guy too. So, I would say that is a big loss.
According to this story, it says, while his time at the Timberwolves, he ushered in a more robust strategy and analytics department.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember the news story connected to this, though? So a fellow Timberwolves employee stole his computer.
Oh, yeah.
laptop.
Oh, that's right.
Right.
Yeah. That's this guy.
Yep.
That was him?
Yeah.
Okay. Stole a bunch of...
Stole a hard drive and I think a laptop, and it had proprietary information about the team and the players on it.
Right.
Yeah.
I never really got too dialed into the story, but I do remember it. What'd you say about a bus? What'd you say, Dana?
Oh, a robust.
Oh.
I thought
a robust strategy and analytics department.
We rented that for your bachelor party.
The guy was known for having a robust analytics department.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I thought for a second there, I thought, what, he's taking the team bus? What? So, okay, but who's the guy that made all the deals that we got from Denver?
Well, that was Tim Conley.
Conley.
Yeah, he's still there, but I'm saying...
No, I know that, but wouldn't he be he's the prime guy when it comes to roster moves?
Well, sure, but what I'm saying is this other guy is the guy doing a lot of the backgrounding stuff and trying to figure out if salary cap things work and doing, a lot of that type of thing. And
he's good with the arithmetic.
Well, yeah, and so it is kind of a big deal.
All right, I'm glad I got an answer because I don't know what some of these folks do. I know their title, and I quickly move on to the Chelsea team. I like to follow them.
You're a robust
so
fan.
going back even further, he was actually hired by Gerson Rosas. Okay, and he and Gerson Rosas had a kind of a falling out, and that was one of the two main reasons why Gerson Rosas is no longer there. The other one I've documented on this show before. And so then Rosas left, and the Skupka served as like the interim before Conley came in, and Conley thought enough of him to keep him around. So that in itself tells you how important he was, because very rarely does a new guy come in from an old regime and keep the number 2 guy there.
All right, well, Mr. Gupta, have fun watching soccer games from here on out.
Yeah.
Thanks for your time here in town. You did some wonderful things. Listeners have been texting in some of the more creepy stalker stories. We were talking about the Paige Beckers deal. Here's a text message that said a UFC fighter had a random woman show up to his house posing as a drug testing agent. She took urine and blood samples. She was not part of the system.
Oh, no.
So she got some blood out of him and watched him pee and took a jar of his pee back home with her.
Oh.
That's extra scary.
Well, Pete Davidson had a stalker that showed up to his mom's house and rang the doorbell and said, "Hey, I'm a good friend of Pete's." And his mom, I guess, is just a really nice lady. He's like, "Well, hey, come on in."
Didn't they watch TV?
Yeah, they watched a movie together or something.
Yep. I heard that story. And also, let's not forget the way Pamela Anderson was stalked by Borat.
Yeah, a few people mentioned that via text here. That's true.
Keanu Reeves is the one I was thinking of. A few people, when I said a minute ago Letterman, and that may be true as well, but what I was thinking was Keanu Reeves had some woman in his house.
Oh, yeah.
I don't remember the details.
Yeah, didn't you have to play along until the cops got there just to make her not go?
Yeah, that's
nuts?
what I was saying. Yeah, it wasn't Letterman, and again, maybe he had the same experience, but what I was thinking was Keanu Reeves. I could see Keanu Reeves being able to keep up a nice conversation with just about anybody.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they say he's one of the nicest guys in Hollywood.
Maybe that's the tactic. We just try to bore these people to death. You know what I mean?
We've learned Dana's easy to bore.
Yes, so.
Oh, that bore tactic still works, though. Robert Pattinson, he plays the new Batman, the most recent Batman, and as well as the Twilight series. He had a stalker, and he agreed to go on a date with her, and she saw just how boring and just, I don't know, kind of annoying he is, and she just left him alone at that point.
I read that. He was intentionally boring.
Yes, he was intentionally boring.
That dude's got balls. So he goes out on a date with the lady and just presents himself to be the stiffest, most boring, long-winded peckerhead on planet Earth, and she left him alone.
Mm-hmm.
He blew whatever image she had of him right out of the water. That's brilliant.
I just hope he had a bodyguard like the table next to him or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. I hope he didn't walk away from his meal at any time. All right. Since we were talking hoops, CBS Sports, this is every year this becomes more and more important, it seems, not only to the players, but to some fans. When the NFL or somebody writes an article about the NFL's top 100 players. Ooh, where did Donnie fall in? Oh, 62? Oh, no way. He should be. That whole thing. Everybody does it now. CBS Sports cut loose with their top 100 NBA players ranking thing, as we're creeping closer to another National Basketball Association season. 6 Wolves made the top, as Wapple would say, 100. 6 Wolves made the top 100 or 100. Mike Conley, 85th.
Mm-hmm.
I love Mike Conley very, very much. Love watching him play. Love what he brings to the club. Next up at number 75 is the player that I discovered and gifted to Wolves fans a couple years ago, Naz Reid.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for thanking me, Ashley. He's, of course, the reigning sixth man of the year, is he not?
Yes.
Yep.
Naz Reid. Jaden McDaniels is the 60, how should I say this, 62nd ranked player. Rudy Gobert and Karl Anthony Towns landed back-to-back at numbers 39 and 38 skis. And Anthony Edwards is the highest-ranked Wolf on the list, coming in at the number 10 spot. He's the 10th best player in the NBA, according to CBS Sports.
Okay.
Guess who topped the list? It's not that difficult. Everyone calls him the best player in the world these days.
LeBron?
No, these days.
Oh, these days.
Yeah. Everyone calls him. Maybe it's been too long since a basketball game was on television.
Yeah. Well, I got a couple of guesses, but I don't think they're right.
Someone said something.
Joker?
Bingo.
Yes, Jokic.
Yeah. That was one of mine, too. I was going to say Doncic, too. But.
After Edwards, who was number 10, number 9, the Durantula, number 8, LeBron James, number 7, Tatum, whatever his first name is, from Boston, number 6, stupid Stephen Curry. This is where I completely lose my cool. There is no way on God's green earth that Joel Embiid is the 5th best player in the national basketball. Are you frigging kidding me?
Yeah.
Should be higher.
Number 4 is that Gilgeous Alexander character. Randy plays with himself at times when watching highlights of Gilgeous Alexander. Number 3, stupid Doncic, and number 2, the Greek Freak.
Yeah.
So you've got 30 teams in the NBA, and 5 guys are on the court at once. So that's 150 players. They should have just made the top 150.
Yeah.
And ranked everybody.
Yeah, how about you go ahead and do that for us, Brad?
Okay, I'll do the last 50 of that.
Joel Embiid, number 5. You got to be stupid. You got to be just stupid to put him in that high.
I am with you. I don't think he deserves to be in the top 5. No way. I don't even think he's top 10.
Hell no. Hell no.
I don't think he's top 10.
Slower than the second coming of Christ is what he is, and all he does is shoot free throws. No way he's even in the top 10.
I would put Anthony Edwards ahead of Embiid for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
Yep.
All right. What else is going on?
When do teams start training camp? It's got to be like right
usually end of September is media day, and when we start training camp, and they'll start playing exhibition games early October, and the season will start mid-October.
Okay. All right.
This is great. Medical Device Jesus texted in to say, if Joel Embiid is the 5th best player in the NBA, then the NBA referees should be ranked number 4. You're friggin' right. What a joke. We talked about this a little earlier. The new Vikings kicker, Willie Reichard. He has a hair superstition. All right. So he's a rookie?
Yes. Out of Alabama.
Alabama. He's 6 for 6 on what you call point-after touchdown attempts. He's 3 for 3 on field goals in his first 2 regular season games. And I guess he's also superstitious. His coach, special teams coordinator Matt Daniels, said that the sumbitch, Reichard, he cuts his hairdo a week before the season starts, and then he doesn't get a haircut until he misses a kick.
Will does the thing where he gets his hair cut a week before the first game of the season, and he doesn't cut his hair again until he misses. So we'll see if we can get a little shag going for Will.
All right.
We'll have to ask Depot about this.
Depot doesn't like the kid.
Oh, that's not true.
So,
that is not true.
I would stay away from.
I didn't know that.
Doesn't like the kid.
Oh,
apparently, also Reichard is like a model of some sort. He does ads for Walmart.
He's got a gorgeous head of hair.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess if you walk into a Walmart, you might see this Rijkaard kid on a poster or something advertising clothing, because he looks like a high school kid, so he'll be wearing the latest jeans. It'll be like, shop at Walmart for your
Yeah, they did back to school ads.
Yeah,
back to school ads.
Yeah, get your backpack.
That's adorable.
That must be an NIL deal that he had when he was at Alabama.
I'll go along with it.
Huh.
There he is, with a backpack. Hey, check out, get a load of these jeans. You can get these sumbitches right here at Walmart.
Need a new polo?
I'm out of college already. But they're paying me to do. That's cute. But then again, at the end of the article, you guys know I hate this. At the end of the article, they talk about his nickname is Will the Thrill. No, your nickname is not Will the Thrill. Will Clark is Will the Thrill.
That's right.
Why do they keep... You can't repeat
They were
these...
playing on Krill the Thrill.
Yeah, they're just playing on
That's
words.
why they decided.
Yeah,
Well,
but
you can't do it.
Will the Thrill is Will Clark.
Will Clark will come to town and kick your ass, and he's 68 years old. Will Clark is Will the Thrill, not this kid who does Walmart ads for the Vikings.
Right.
If you do Walmart ads, you can't be thrilling in any way.
I'm looking at the photo. He's sitting on a bench with his backpack and water bottle, like he's just waiting for the bus to come get him.
It looks like a baby.
He's taking that money straight to the bar, isn't he? Straight to the bar. Well, we'll see how long his hairdo can get.
You all right, Dana?
You all right, Dana?
Just a little seepy.
University of Minnesota Golden Gopher defensive back Kerry Brown was named the Big Ten Freshman of the Week. By God, in that game against Nevada, he had a couple of interceptions.
Yeah.
PJ Fleck, right, the head coach of that ball club. Oh, he's all hyped up because they open up Big Ten play against the Iowegians Saturday, right? We talked about that.
Yeah, 6:30 game Saturday.
Battling it out for Floyd or Rosedale. PJ made some kind of comment, something along the lines of, "I like bacon."
Okay.
Okay.
See, that's that
extra
post.
crispy though.
What?
Is that what you said?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. What?
Right here.
I do like bacon, extra crispy though. I don't like anything that's soggy about the bacon, but extra crispy bacon. But we'll have some certain things that we do kind of traditionally inside the program. But we got a football game to win.
I disagree. That bacon's got to be a little soft.
Go home.
Not super soft. It's a little bit.
I agree, Brad.
No.
My oldest, you like slimy bacon.
No.
God.
I want to spit up.
The next person that says no is getting stabbed to death. Sorry, I couldn't take it anymore.
I love how he talks about bacon. He's like, anyway, let me get back to what we were talking about.
He was specifically asked. The reporter said, "Do you have any special traditions for Iowa Week? Do you eat a lot of bacon?" So that's how that came up.
You start.
Oh, no.
Was that Janel?
He's trying to start trouble with the Iowegians. I'm with you, Brad Ryder.
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, coming up this weekend, there's going to be a college football game. Who's playing here? Oklahoma State, and by damn, it's in here somewhere. It doesn't matter. I'll fill you in later. There's a college football game this weekend where the two starting quarterbacks, their combined age is 49 years old, and everyone is saying this is ridiculous. They're too old to still be out there playing. They're both in their 7th year of college football.
Is that like because of the pandemic, or how does that even happen?
Yes.
Medical red shirts, transfers,
Oh,
all that stuff. I get a kick out of this stuff.
And the pandemic.
Yeah, of course. How old was the bald kid at the end of his run here for the Golden Gophers? Tanner
Morgan.
Schmeckelbag.
I think he went 6 years, I believe.
Yes.
What was he, 26 or something like that? How old was Tanner Morgan in his last year here with the Golden Gophers? Because people were kicking
26.
Yeah. People like to kick his ass for being too old.
Yeah, but who was that kid that was the quarterback for Georgia when they won that championship? He was like 37.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Do you guys remember we did a story, I think I talked about it here at KARE, I think it was a year ago, a guy at Is it North Dakota State College of Science? And he was 49.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember that?
Right.
Yeah, he went back to school.
Yeah. He went back to school, and he was all beer-bellied and old, and they gave him a sympathy spot on the club. Yeah, right. Oklahoma State, and I think it's Utah, that are playing this weekend. These two quarterbacks. One's name is Alan Bowman. Well, he sounds like he's from 1974. You just don't hear a name like that anymore. A 24-year-old kid named Alan Bowman? That doesn't. The other kid's name is Cam Rising. One of them's 24, the other one's 25. Bacon! And a lot of people are making comments, you can watch a pro game. And I'm sure a lot of Mankato State hockey jokes are coming into the text machine. Sorry, I can't look at it right now. Yep. But people are saying you can watch a pro football game, the NFL, and see quarterbacks. Like, for instance, this weekend, whoever Caleb Williams is going to quarterback whatever team he plays for.
Right.
Who is that again? Caleb?
The Bears.
Okay.
The Bears.
Anthony Richardson is quarterback for the Colts, I believe, right?
Yes.
They're playing each other this weekend. They're both 22, but these college guys are 25 and 24. I get a kick out of it.
Because you brought up his name, I just have to throw in there. Tanner guest spoke in one of my classes last year. He's one of the nicest guys you've ever
He
met.
is.
Seems that way.
He's a phenomenal guy.
Played in my golf event. He's fabulous.
And he had some great games.
Yes,
Man,
he did.
we had some fun when he was around.
Yes, we did.
When he threw that friggin' pass into the back of the end zone against Auburn. Who was the receiver? Was it Bateman? Tyler? Whoever it was.
Yeah.
One of those receivers made that insane tiptoe catch. God, those were fun times.
Great human being.
You sound like John Madden right there. That was that Dan Deerdorf? Who was the football announcer back in the day who would always say
Matt Millen?
Matt Millen, that's
Yeah.
right.
Matt Millen.
That's right.
Hey, Shaver loved Matt.
You came off like Matt Millen. Great player and a great human being. That was Matt Millen. I saw him over the weekend doing a college football game.
Yeah.
He doesn't look like he's aged much even, Matt
He's
Millen.
still doing broadcasting.
Matt Millen.
Dan Deerdorf had the lisp.
Yes.
When he did.
He did.
Dan Deerdorf.
Yes, he had a little bit of a lisp, and it was adorable.
The big offensive lineman for the Cardinals, he had the lisp.
Yeah, he was a feared dude when he played.
He was very, he kind of had a reputation as being a little bit dirty. Right,
yeah.
As a player.
But then you got him on television, and he would say things like, field position is very, kind of came off like
Mike Tyson.
Lou Nanny or Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys want to talk cute? The Toronto Maple Leafs announced that Oreo cookies will be their new helmet sponsor for the upcoming NHL season.
Fun.
Huh? Oreo cookie? Who are the Pigs? Who's their helmet sponsor? Anybody know?
I haven't heard.
Because,
That's the
everyone,
only one I've read.
they got the sponsor on the sweater now. They got the sponsor on the helmet. I don't know. Do they put a sponsor on the...
Is it Toyota?
That sounds right. I don't know.
I think it is.
Yeah, they've had that one for a while.
All right.
I think.
Has Janelle noticed that there's more than just two dickheads in the room this morning, Josh?
So she's warned something like this might come up. I don't think she's noticed because I've hid it from her.
You got to tell Randy Shaver and Brad Ryder the story of your little friend over here.
Well, last week I learned of something called a suction cup dildo. I had never heard of that before. I've learned a lot of things on this show. I've heard of a regular one, but I didn't know they made them with suction cups. And Nick was nice enough to demonstrate how someone may use one, because I couldn't even picture that. And so a longtime listener, Jared, he sent an unmarked box to the studio, and I opened it, and lo and behold, I now have my very own suction cup dildo.
Right. We're looking for a name for it.
It's our new mascot.
It's our new in-studio mascot. We've already got David Lee Rock, who goes to events once in a while and annoys people. We're looking for a name. This will be our in-studio mascot, this suction cup dildo. Of course, knowing that our regular mascot is David Lee Rock, a lot of people suggested that this thing should be David Lee.
And that would have been perfect, but can't do that.
We want something we can use in mixed company, so we're still looking for a name. We've seen. I think it should just be Suction Cup Dildo Jesus.
Yeah, that's so simple, it's perfect.
It's simple. It mixes in with everything that we do around here as far as names. So, anyway, Janelle, sorry if three's a crowd. We got two hard-ons already, me and Josh, and then this third one here.
Should I show her what we learned I can do with this?
Sorry about our friend. Yes.
Yes, you have
Yes,
to.
And
you
we
have
need
to.
to. Not only does she need to see it, but everyone needs to hear the sound of. Because one of the things we covered when we taught you about suction cup dildos a few days ago is that if you wanted to, you could just stick it to your bald head.
And you can rhino your wife.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So Josh wasn't sure if this would work, if he could suction cup. It worked earlier. Let's get total silence here because you're going to love the sound.
Well, first and foremost, I'm a little self-conscious. Does it look like I'm losing my hair at all?
No.
No, it doesn't?
No.
Okay, good.
And you know what? You do have a mark on your forehead from when you did this earlier.
I know. It won't go away.
I told you.
It won't go away.
You got to tell everyone at the wedding.
I've got to go to a wedding on Friday.
No.
Hey, what happens normally at wedding receptions? There's a lot of boring people. You don't know how to even start a conversation with them. Great conversation. Okay, let's have you stick that sucker.
All right. And I'm sorry for this, Janelle. I wish you didn't have to see this.
I do too.
All right.
She's not going to get the image out of her head now, though.
Right. Here we go.
And there it is. Like a damn glove.
Now, I'm sorry you have to see this, but just so you can describe it, doesn't it look legit? It matches my skin color perfectly.
It actually does.
It does.
It does.
Janelle, your face looks disappointed.
I know. I'm sorry.
Thanks to our listener friend Jared who sent that in. It
disappointed in Josh or disappointed in the...
Both, everything. Just a lot of disappointment.
You know what you should do?
I didn't let Ashley look. I told Ashley she can't see this.
You should walk into the boss's office after the show and with that sumbitch sticking out and say, you know, I felt a little bump on my head last night.
Yeah, just act normal. Just walk around with...
Yeah. You know what's great? So we share studios with...
Take that off your head right now or you're going to have a purple mark for a week.
All right, it makes the sound.
Oh, yeah, listen to what... You were going to have a bruise on your forehead.
I know. It kind of hurts, actually.
That's a beautiful thing.
I think I
worn that on your last night on KARE.
What were you saying now?
So we share studios with the KQ Morning Show.
Look what he's doing.
Oh, God dang it.
Yeah, he gestures with it.
Yeah. I got to set it down.
Pointing it around at everyone.
I play with it. Steve Gorman from the KQ Morning Show, he looked through the glass and saw what was going on, and he gave me a very disappointed look. I don't want to run into him in the hallway now.
People are suggesting names still. We appreciate it. I think we're just going to go with Suction Cup Dildo Jesus. I mean, here was one suggestion, Dildautry. I think we're going to go with Suction Cup Dildo Jesus. Sorry, everybody, but...
I appreciate the text.
It was too much fun to ignore. What text?
Janelle just sent Randy, you and I, a text of what Josh looks like.
Oh, I'm sorry, you guys had this.
New phone background.
Oh, you sent a...
No, we're going to attach it to his contact info so when he calls...
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, my God.
Okay, Janelle, you have to send it to me, too, because that's brilliant.
Okay. Group text.
That's cute.
Oh, my God. That's hilarious.
Oh, wow. It was too much fun to ignore. Okay, we got to get going. Randy Shaver, Brad Ryder, thank you for everything. And we will talk to you soon. More with Jungle Jane when we come back on the Programski.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Did you know that Standard Heating opened its doors over 90 years ago? That's right. Tony Ferreira opened the doors in 1930, now ran by his granddaughter Claire Ferreira. Call Standard Heating and Air Conditioning today and experience the customer service and care that holds true today.
Are you looking to improve your work-life balance with excellent benefits like 401k match and even tuition reimbursement? Standard Heating and Air is looking for an accounting administrator and customer service representatives to join their team. Learn more at standardheating.com/careers today.
Former Navy SEAL Mike Ridlin keeps it real on the Mic Drop podcast.
Welcome to the stage, Ben, the Hammer Sledge.
They were always trying to get me to just drop my packet to become an officer, but I just discovered I loved being with the troops on the ground. And so I was like, nah, I don't want to do this. And plus, Sergeant Sledge sounded so much cooler than, Sergeant Sledge sounds like a G.I. Joe character.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Mic Drop, raw, unfiltered, intellectually sound, wherever you listen.
KARE 11's Janel Klein.
This is the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Yeah, here's the damn deal. Janel Klein is here, and we've been having some laughs. Haven't we, Janelle?
We have had a lot of laughs. Always, we have a lot of laughs.
A lot of laughs. It's 8:33 here on the 93X Half-Fast Morning Show. Wednesday morning, don't you know? Friday night, we're headed out on that silly boat ride. We call it Rock the River.
Are you going to be there?
Damn shame Janelle can't make it.
I'm out of town. I would totally go. I had a great time this summer.
It's fun. The
Very
fall
fun.
one, especially because it's close to my house, it's cooler and there's a band.
Oh, well then.
By
There's
cooler, I mean weather-wise.
What do you mean band? On board?
On board, that's right.
No.
Word.
They play rock and roll.
Wow.
Had you, if you weren't going out of town, you could probably get up and sing a song.
Well, that might be. You know the good part about that, though? No one could leave.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Captive audience.
Yeah, they'd have to be committed and willing to get wet if they wanted to get out.
You better have a dinghy.
That's it. That's the only
yeah.
way anyone wants to hear me sing.
Other
trust
than
me,
that.
when they're trapped.
We're headed out on that damn boat. Yeah, unfortunately, it's a damn shame. Jungle Jane can't make it. We were hoping to class to join up a little bit. Drinks will be served, of course, on the boat ride. Janelle, you enjoy a stiff drink now and again, right?
I do.
Your preferred drinky?
You know, listen, I can't really do it too often because I think I've told you guys, we've talked about this. I get so hungover.
Oh.
Like, I can't. I'm a loser now. But maybe I've never been a big beer person. I would say gin and tonic is probably what I drink more than anything.
That's your
Good
drink,
choice.
eh?
Yeah.
Is there like a particular gin? I don't know. Like, Ashley, what's a fancy way to order that?
I get Tanqueray and tonics. What about you? Do you do rail gin?
I would say Tanqueray. I'm not picky though. Like whatever.
Well, I was lucky enough. My friggin' wife. What happened over there?
I just hit my head on this table when I sneezed.
Your skull is
Dude, if you had the dildo, it wouldn't have happened.
I know. I could have protected I could have been a feeler, so I knew where the table was.
Self-afflicted and otherwise, your skull is taking a beating this morning.
It really is.
What was that? A sneeze and you hit your head?
Yeah, I was trying to.
My God.
So I was trying to put my head under the table and my mic off so I wouldn't interrupt the show with the sneeze, and I hit my head on this.
You need to enter the cumulus concussion protocol.
We have one of those?
I don't know. I'll do some digging.
Janelle, my friggin' wife and I were lucky enough to have Janelle join us last Friday for a couple of drinks. And speaking of what Janelle might, what her poison might be, and someone said something about the kind of gin she likes in her gin and tonic. I'll tell you this much. I went to the bar to order you a drink last Friday. And I know nothing about booze. I'm a beer guy.
I don't know much either.
I struggle with it. So I said, I need a gin and tonic. And the lady said, well, any particular kind of gin? And I pointed you out and said, look at her. Probably something pretty fancy. So they put some kind of fancy stuff in there. When's the last time, how long has it been? You mentioned that overhangs whoop your ass.
Yeah.
And don't I know it as well. When's the last time you got like old school Faribault drunk?
Maybe in Faribault.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really drink anymore. Not like
I get it.
I
Yeah,
just don't.
me neither.
I get it.
don't. Like literally probably college.
That's the last time you were just knee crawling,
Yeah.
Faribault
Yeah,
style.
I just don't do that anymore.
Well, the overhangs, they'll whoop you.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
I remember mine. The last hangover I had was July 5th, 2005.
You know the date?
Yeah, that's the last time I'm like, okay, I don't need to do this anymore.
And then what? You woke up and you said, "I'm done. I'm never doing this again." 'Cause
Yep.
It was so bad.
Not going to do that again.
Yeah.
A lot of people say that, Josh, but they don't really stick to it. Oh, I'm never drinking again.
I'm stubborn.
3 hours later, you want to get beers? Yeah, beer sounds good.
Let's see where we can go with this now. Here's a statement that I read on the internet. Being drunk is a total cheat code for these specific life moments. Now, that's how they said it, I believe, on the Chive. If you're not intentionally trying to use cute terms to be cool, you would simply say things that are more fun or easier when you're hammered ass drunk. They said being drunk is a total cheat code, blah, blah, blah. What they mean is things that are more fun or easier when you're hammered ass drunk. You had something to say right away, Smashley?
Well, like any social setting that you're stressed out about is better, or like a boring social setting.
Sure.
Yeah, I was just going to bring that up. Now, I realize 5 minutes ago I had a suction cup dildo on my forehead.
Yes.
But every time I do drink, I do think I should do this more often because I don't feel locked up. I feel like I feel like I'm a little more loose.
You don't feel any stress. Of course, your inhibitions fade away. You're
I try
not
and fake it as much as I can, but I don't feel like out of my shell a little bit.
And you almost never ever drink, so I imagine you get that feeling very quickly.
Oh yeah, I mean we're talking probably
halfway through.
Now, if I was just talking and not trying to have a radio answer, I'd say like half a glass or a can of whatever I'm drinking. But because this is radio, after like a 6-pack.
Yeah.
No, of course. Social situations, absolutely. I mean, Jesus, God, that's why bars were invented, I think. So we could get together and socialize and not be so tightly wound.
Josh, I think I made it through maybe half of the drink Nick got for me Friday night.
They mix them. Right? They mix them stiffer than a peach orchard boar over there.
Yeah,
it's all. Yeah, I was trying to think of everything for me. Inhibitions. Like I'm kind of tight at times financially. I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to buy. I don't need that. Where when I drink, I think, all right, time to go buy a Ducati or something ridiculous.
Oh yeah, that's. I always said the only thing that would make Target better is if there was a little bar in there.
I wonder if they've ever considered that.
Probably, but there'd be too much traffic from all the husbands picking up their wife.
There are a lot of grocery stores now that have the bars inside.
Yeah, I was going to say Hy-Vee does.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Yeah, and they get me every time.
Hy-Vee is a bar? I go to Hy-Vee sometimes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, there's one that I've been to that has a bar. I know not all of them do.
I mean, because we've got, like, if you want something wok fried or something, if you want a hamburger, they got that. I had no idea they had bars.
Things that are more fun or easier when you're hammered ass drunk. I mean, the list is amazingly long. Some of you would say everything is more fun or easier when you're hammered ass drunk. Here's what this report spit our way. It covers damn near everything. Eating Taco Bell.
Oh, by far. Why does it? I mean, it's good sober. But when you're intoxicated, it's like the best thing you've ever ate.
I'm going to go this route. I'm actually going to alter it just slightly. I'm not trying to be nitpicky, but I would say eating Taco Bell when you're hungover is even better than when you're drunk.
Yeah.
Even better.
I'll make food choices I might not normally make while drunk.
Oh, of course. Absolutely. That's the name of the game. You come home drunk, you pile up all the leftovers that you have in the fridge onto one plate. You put it in the microwave, you wipe it out, and you fall completely unconscious and naked for 8 to 10 hours.
It doesn't count if you're intoxicated. I always tell myself that.
Calories don't count?
Yep.
Now, some of this is kind of dangerous. One individual said it's easier and more fun to text an ex when you're drunk. Well, you're inviting a lot of trouble there.
Mm-hmm. Don't do that.
But is it easier? Yeah. Talking to your crush. Again, slightly dangerous. Because if you've had too many, you might end up making an absolute jackass out of yourself. But sure, approaching that person and talking to that person, tons easier when you got a hardcore buzz on or you're completely ass hammered.
There's some details here I'll have to leave out, but a few people are saying they're a little more sexually adventurous while drunk. They'll try some things that maybe in the past they've shied on or been a little shy about.
Yep.
Again, I think liquor might have been invented during a wane in the population or something like that, right? Because everyone knows when human beings get a few beers in us, we're going to bang something, right? And you're going to try things you never effing thought of. Without a doubt, sex is an easy answer to the question, what's more fun or easier when you're hammered drunk? Karaoke.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I've been alive forever.
I need to be intoxicated.
And I wrote the very first song. What song? I write the songs. Barry Manilow, what year? I think 1976.
More anxiety.
Absolutely. Karaoke is a riot when you're drunk.
More anxiety than hair, and I think it's almost a requirement to be drunk when you watch your friends do it.
Mm-hmm.
More anxiety than hair, Jesus said it's much easier to dance when you're drunk, and he sent a screenshot that says, it's in quotation marks, trust me, you can dance, and that was written by vodka.
Hell yeah.
Another one I just thought of, gambling.
Okay.
Gambling's a lot easier to do when you're drunk because you just don't really care about your money at that point.
When somebody texted in, they said that's exactly why you get free drinks in Vegas, right?
Oh, yeah.
True. Yeah.
Dancing, hell yeah. You are You are Christina Aguilera when you're drunk out on the dance floor. I was trying to come up with a decent dancer.
Is she a good dancer?
I saw her dance at her videos. She seemed pretty good at it, sure. You ever seen the video where she's like singing for all the sailors? I recommend any man with a working penis watches that video. All right? And she looks like a pretty good dancer to me. Working at your job is easier when you're drunk. Okay, what the hell's the matter?
What are you doing?
No, you can't do that.
That sounds way more difficult, too.
You know what else is easier and more fun when you're drunk? Christmas.
Yeah.
You know, if you're around some family that are difficult to deal with.
Definitely.
And it's a stressful time of year.
They're all friggin' difficult. Smoking a cigarette is easier and more fun when you're drunk.
Oh, yeah, I've known plenty of people that's the only time they smoke.
Right. Mm-hmm. Tobacco just tastes good with beer.
That used to be so much fun.
Smoking a cigarette, burning a heater. This is absolutely true as we're talking about the things that are easier and more fun when you're drunk. Bar games. Mm-hmm. This individual says, my skill at pool and darts increases tenfold whenever I'm drunk or just on the edge of drunk. Aiming fluid is what we call it when we load up to play pocket billiards. We better have some aiming fluid.
There's a perfect spot you want to be at, though.
Yes.
Because there's definitely usually 2 or 3 drinks. I'm still doing pretty good at bar games, but once I get past those, it's just downhill.
Yes, usually. Yeah. Usually. You're correct, Ashley, but one night 30 years ago, my brother and I were at the In Cahoots in Hamel, Minnesota, and we were drizzunk, okay? We weren't just drunk. We were buffoonish, moron drunk. And we loaded up to play pool. Partners. Who wants to play partners? My brother and I said. And neither one of us had a hell of a lot of experience playing pool. I mean, a little bit. We won 15 or 16 games in a row against guys who were way more skilled than we were. And at one point, my brother pulled me aside and said, how is this happening? And I said, I have no idea.
I had a similar experience bowling. I bowled over a 200 while drunk.
Whoa.
There's no way I could do that sober.
It's right here, Cubby. Bowling.
Never been able to recreate that while sober.
Wow.
Classic Country Jesus said he's purchased a lot of snowmobile and ATV parts while drunk.
Janelle. Sorry, you're not feeling
That's okay.
that. You got a little cough.
It's okay.
Janelle, you do a lot of speeches at important events.
Some, yes.
Some speeches at important events. You're hired to do so.
Mm-hmm.
You ever, because it says right here, doing speeches at important events is easier when you're, have you had a few to loosen up before you?
You know, it's funny you say that. They always offer you that.
Yeah.
And I think that would be the worst idea for me because, again, I never drank. Right?
It just hammered up there.
She ends up topless up there. Just woo!
Dropping F-bombs.
I don't love public speaking much.
Who does?
Yeah, so I mean, I would love to do it, but yeah, I think that's a slippery slope.
It is, but then that proves, I mean, you got some courage. A lot of folks, no way they could do it without a little bit of beer or something like that.
Yeah.
No way they could get up in front of a crowd. And finally, in our conversation about things that are easier and more fun when drunk, and of course, the list is amazingly long. We could be here all day. Puking.
Sometimes it does feel good.
Oh,
yeah, as long as the spins stop after.
Yes.
I've never thought it felt good. I mean, the afterwards is the relief, but...
Yeah, the relief is...
Well, basically what they're saying here, when you're sick, like you have the flu or something and you vomit, it's just miserable. But I'd say 7 or 8 times out of 10, if you're drunk and you got a yak, it does feel, you feel quite quickly much, much better. That one kind of surprised me, but it makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Drunk pukes aren't that bad. It's the next day where it sucks. You wake up with that taste in your mouth. Oh, good.
Yeah. Gosh,
oh, God, no.
Somebody forgot.
That's the worst.
Drunk me forgot to brush my teeth.
And you look to your left, and there's a couple of dudes or something. Like, oh, no, what happened? Oh, for Christ's sake. Boy, she's been a pretty good Wednesday. I can live with this one. What about you, Josh?
I'm good.
I mean, I know you've done some things. You've said some things.
Yeah.
You have done quite a bit.
I can't remember if I brought this up off air or it was just in my head. Sometimes this happens. I have conversations with myself. And I was thinking back to when my dad was in seminary and he envisioned how his life would go. I mean, at the time he thought he'd be a priest, but he probably had thoughts like, gosh, maybe I want to be a dad. Yeah. And I don't think this is what he envisioned for his adult son to do.
What are you talking about?
That's all right.
When he's
his adult
a handful of months away from turning 50.
Closing in on 50?
Yeah.
Your dad envisioned all of this.
I don't think he did.
Yeah, you know what's funny? I was just, not that we're going to get into this, it's too late anyway, and the subject didn't really grab me, but I was just reading an article about what's something you did for the very first time at a surprisingly late age in life compared to others. Well, Josh, now you could add to this list. Your comment could be, I partied with a suction cup dildo at work in front of my coworkers.
I sure did.
Yes.
Now, Janelle, have you heard of this before, this contraption?
No.
Okay, so it's new to you today.
Yes.
It was new to me last week.
Yeah.
Boy, you're a nerd. You got to catch up.
I know. I know.
Beautiful. Thank you for the gift. Again, Jared, a listener who sent that in for Josh because, like he was just saying, he was new to the whole schmear.
Shout out to his wife, too. They're an awesome couple.
We've settled on a name. We're going to call it Suction Cup Dildo Jesus. So if you ever hear us reference it on the program, that's who we're talking about. He's staying right here. He's
going nowhere.
Thank you for your text on that topic.
And the reason he's going nowhere is you had suggested, maybe I'll see if my wife wanted me to bring it home. She does not want me to bring it home.
I don't know. Whatever happened to fun? You know what I'm saying? I don't get that. All right, so we got that out of the way. Made for a lot of laughs this morning. More people are still texting in on things that are a lot easier and more fun when you're drunk. Here's a listener who says cheating on your wife. It's a lot easier and more fun when you're drunk.
I wonder what percentage of, you've discussed it, Janelle, but I wonder what percentage of first-time cheaters were drunk.
Oh, hell, I bet it's way up there.
I would think it's got to be at least 50%, right?
And like we were just discussing, the next morning you go, oh, God, now what am I going to do? I bet it's way up there. Cheating on your wife, a guy says, is a lot easier when you're... we got the boat ride coming up Friday. Who wants to field this question from Skateboard Pete Jesus? Are you ready for this? It's a question about our boat ride on Friday night. Skateboard Pete Jesus. Will pot smoking be allowed on the boat?
No.
I believe there's a company policy against that. Whilst we recognize your legal ability to do so, I think they frown upon that.
Yeah, I think that's a big no-no.
The boat probably has some rules on that, too.
Oh, God. What do you want from us, you know? What do you want from us sometimes? Yeah, go ahead. You know, I don't know.
Yeah, let's just light a bunch of blunts. Yeah.
Tired of you potheads. Time to grow up, for Christ's sake. Janelle, we got to get out of here.
All right.
You got any closing statements?
I'm speechless.
Career highlight today?
We always appreciate having you
guys.
in the studio.
Great to be here.
Yes, always a smile on my face when you walk in. And a frown when you leave. Get Bent text. She says text in a 50th birthday shout out to her rock star hubby from your girls and crazy little deaf dog, she said. Shout out to Dance Dad Jesus, who's now 19 years sober as of today. Congrats. Also, congratulations to softball mom Jesus and her husband Brian on their 25th anniversary. Happy birthday to full-time attorney, half-ass fireman Jesus from Nate Outdoors Jesus. And happy 34th birthday to Sherelle from Mom and Dad.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show. 93.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. New episodes drop each weekday. If your podcast platform has ratings, go ahead and give us 5 stars and maybe give our enemies 1. Thanks, and here's a word from our sponsor.
Standard Heating and Air is looking for an accounting administrator and customer service representatives to join their team. Learn more at standardheating.com/careers today.